Mike Story's back from a little hiatus. He was at a wedding. He did not drink because of some doctor's orders. Get into that later. Did you do the Macarena?
No, but I do not like dancing at weddings. And my aunt pulled me out on the dance floor. She's like the only person alive, including my wife, who can actually pull me onto the dance floor. So it was a fun wedding, though. It was a great time. We had a good time. I think you told the stream I went to the Phillies game on Thursday night.
Yeah. Is your aunt hot, by the way? Just curious.
She's old. But she's lovely. She's a lovely
lady. Okay. I think it might be a little strange if you were like, yeah, my wife's hot or my aunt's hot.
Yeah, that would be a little weird.
Look at this comment from Bryce to start the stream. This is the kind of comment I want to read. Couldn't tune in last night. Last night's stream was banging my fiance. That's going to change when you get married, bro. But so enjoy it while it lasts. I'm just kidding. That's not my personal experience. That's like the whole running joke of like, when you get married, you don't have sex. You married the wrong girl then. Right?
Priorities, man. Priorities. I don't blame Bryce for not tuning in last night.
Welcome Sub-Zero to the chat. Story. He's a new addition to the fan club here. Yeah, he's a young gentleman, but very knowledgeable, very nice. And so
we get
welcome
Scorpion in here.
Yeah, he's never met Story. So this is Story. This is the brains behind the operation. This is the college football guy. This is the guy. Okay, I just host this fucking show.
We're here to answer questions, but it's a tag team. Well, like we said, it's a dual. It's a duel. You know, sometimes we had a trio though. We had Ben on the other night, 3 people. That was fun.
Threesomes were good, man.
Little menage
Brian, I don't ever sleep. I was really rough last night. I somehow did a 3-hour stream solo. I didn't even want to do it. I'm gonna do an hour, and I had a couple beers in me, and I just kept going. Next thing you know, it's been 3 hours. I'm just like, man, I was on like the moon. It was weird.
Bananas.
A lot of people hating on Jake Browning. Here's the way I think of it, and let me know if you disagree, Story. The toughest 2 matchups to start his first 2 starts, right? Like Vikings, a hungry Vikings defense, notoriously tough against young quarterbacks, and then a hungry Denver team that was at home. Like that's just 2 of the top 4 toughest matchups, right?
Yes, certainly the Broncos and the Vikings to a certain extent, but I think you would be disingenuous if you weren't a little worried about T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Chase Brown. Certainly, this is bad in Cincinnati, and the biggest question on everybody's mind is, are they going to make a move? Because this team's only 2-2, right? So they won the first 2 games, they lost the last 2. There's a chance that if they make the playoffs, Burrow comes back. So they're not going to hang this thing up yet, and they've got immense talent on the offense. Can they go out and get a Kirk Cousins, a Jameis Winston? God, can you imagine Jamar Chase with Jameis Winston?
Everyone with Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston with Jameis Winston, right? It would be like a top 10 fantasy play.
Yeah, I mean, the Bengals might not win any more games than they do with Jake Browning, but at the very least, it would be entertaining to watch.
Yeah. Do you have a couple big things from this weekend? At least one big thing that we can get into?
Big thing. Well, are the Bears back? Are the Bears finally back? Have they got the bug?
Hold on one second. I only do this to play this graphic. I just love the music too.
I forgot about big things. So my big thing will be the NFC North. It is not as cut and dry as I think everybody thought it was. Everybody was crowning the Green Bay Packers after week 1. Mm-hmm. This immense, like they were the favorite to win the NFC North by the sports books. Everybody was saying the best defense in the league. And then Cowboys without CeeDee Lamb go. They bring the Packers in and they score 40 points on them. Micah Parsons gets credited with 1 sack, and you could hardly even consider that a sack against his former team. Without CeeDee Lamb, and the Lions are still rolling. So, I don't know. I'm excited for the Bears a little bit. Now, Caleb Williams looked good in spots, and he looked like the old Caleb Williams in spots. I'm not going to take too much from this because it was the Raiders, but they did win, and they had to win in a comeback fashion. So, for me, I don't think anything is set in stone in the NFC North yet, other than I don't think the Bears will win it. And I don't think the Vikings will win it either, not with how they're set up right now.
No, I think the spot to bet would have been the Lions after week 1. Like they were probably 3-1 or something, or plus 250 maybe.
I think the Packers are like plus 125 and the Lions were like right around plus 200, 225, somewhere in that range.
Now that's probably flipped, or they're even both like plus 150. I was just thinking, I was telling my wife about the Ravens. If they lose this week, which they probably will lose this week, just if Lamar doesn't play, that defense missing 5 or 6 starters, that's the time to bet the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. Because all you have in that division right now, it appears, is the Steelers stopping them from winning. Now they'd be 1-4, but their schedule opens up. It's pretty nice. If you can get them at like 18-1, like that's a good play, right, Story?
Yeah, I take the Ravens at 18-1. The team's in disarray right now, and I put a lot of that on the coaching. When you've got Derrick Henry, you take out his big runs, he was still ripping off 4 yards a carry, and they only give him 8 carries on the game, something like that. I know they were trailing. There's a lot of dysfunction there. I think Lamar's kind of fed up with it. I don't know how much the hamstring injury, how much would he have tried to play through that because they were only down by 17. I heard people saying, "Oh, it was a blowout that had something to do with it." I'm like, they were only down by 17 when Lamar checked himself out of the game. That is not an insurmountable lead. Certainly not against.
Well, here's the thing, Story. The Ravens only blow 17-point leads. They rarely come back from 17. Because rarely are they down 17. You know,
True.
It's a weird situation. They're not built for that. Even though they're not built to have leads, they're built for close games. I just think if you can get them like 18-1, I got to look what the odds are now. And then I think if you wait for them to lose this week, if they're 1-4, you can get them at like, 8th or 9th best odds or 10th best odds. We all know if they make the playoffs, they're a top 4 team in the league, right?
Yeah, you're not gonna like it. They're 11-1 on DK right now, so it's
right.
Really,
you got to wait for them to lose this week, right? You wait for them to lose, it goes to 20-1.
Right. And to answer your earlier question, both the Lions and the Packers are plus 110 to win the division.
Wow. Okay, that's I don't like that. That's a toss up.
Yeah, it's a toss up. The Bears are plus 25-1. So
we got G Allen here. He said, "Cheers, you got me 2 wins today. I benched Mayfield for dimes, but was able to still pull off both games. I must have said something, and usually people come in when I make the wrong choice for them. So I appreciate someone saying it when I made the right choices for them, because it's. I was just telling who was I telling last night? I said that like throughout a week, right? I'm probably making like 250 to 500 calls on like start sit shit like that. Like if I just go 60%, which is good, if they're close calls that like go the other way, I'm gonna be wrong like 150 times. So yeah, I can have a lot of people angry.
You could, but that's how the gambling hucksters will make their money. They'll take a list of 100 people, and they'll give 50 people the Packers minus 3.5, and they'll give 50 people the Vikings plus 3.5. And then those 50 people that win, they'll split them up into 25 and 25, and they'll give them one side, and then boom, boom, boom. And eventually you've got like 4 or 5 people that you've given 4 wins in a row to. And then now you're like, oh, but pay me money if you want to keep winning. So for anybody out there, if you're thinking about buying picks, don't. It's an absolute – I can get into the math behind why it's a stupid decision, but just really stay away from anybody trying to sell you picks. Nobody's got a crystal ball. Even the best sports bettors in Vegas only win 55% of the time. So don't get suckered into. There's all these hucksters on Twitter right now.
Devious says he's so glad. I'm guessing he's saying I'm so glad I didn't take Chase Brown at the 2-3 turn. Wow, a 2-3 turn is like almost automatic when he was falling that far from what the fantasy community was telling us, right? And he didn't get Chase either, so that looks good because you probably got Bijan. Baller says, should I drop Calvin Ridley or should I trade? Or who should I trade for? You got to see what's up with his injury because apparently he only played 50% of the snaps. He didn't play much in the second half because he was hurt, and he looked terrible. There
were a lot of mysterious injuries that came out after the fact this week. Ridley, Bucky Irving, by the way, keep an eye on Bucky Irving's status because he went in for
Sean Tucker season, baby.
Yeah.
Who would you? Let's hypothetically go through this. If Bucky's out next week, would you? Let's call it half PPR. Would you play Sean Tucker or would you play? Why can't I think of his name? Fucking other running back on the team.
Oh, Rashad White?
Rashad White. Yeah, who would you play?
You're looking for somebody else on a different team.
No. Yeah.
Rashad White. Rashad White. I mean, very much a pass catcher there. Baker loves dumping off. He's already been involved. I don't see why the Buccaneers would give Sean Tucker just a massive workload.
Well, me and you both know Sean Tucker's a monster, though. Like he's a monster.
But I don't know why the Buccaneers would go away from Rashad White.
Story, you think Jalen Hyatt actually has a shot to have a role in the Giants offense? I guess a role could just be playing snaps, meaningful snaps. I don't think he's anything. He's terrible at football, but he might have a role. What do you think?
He'll have an uptick in targets, but how much how many shares do you want of at the very, very least, the third pass catcher on that team? For a rookie quarterback with a bad offensive line and no Malik Neighbors taking coverage, I don't want any part of that Giants off. Like
And they have a good defense, and like they're going to run the ball with Dart. They're going to run the ball a fuckload with Scatabo. We saw Scatabo getting neutral game script 26 carries or whatever. That's unreal.
It was good to see the Giants utilizing Dart's talents and getting him designed runs. But let's make no mistake about it. Like, he's a rookie. He's got no NFL game tape. Things will be different.
Well, I didn't like the way they utilized Dart because I had that bet, that under, and that I knew that was spooky. It was dead in the first quarter, bro. I mean, I lost Brock Bowers too. Rip Brock Bowers. What a bum. He's hurt right now. I'm saying it was always a bad pick, I felt like, and then now with the injury, like that's a really bad pick. Mix that with Geno being terrible.
Yeah, definitely. In your first 2 rounds, there's guys that you could complain about. AJ Brown, Jamar Chase, I'm sure some people are very upset about. Chase Brown, we talked about. But Brock Bowers, I took Brock Bowers in one league when he dropped to the 3rd. I thought, all right, this is a set it and forget it guy who's going to be a difference maker at my tight end. And I'm not going to bench Brock Bowers, certainly not, but he's not getting downfield targets. They're not stretching the field with him like he did in the past, whether that's a combination of Geno regressing or the knee injury or some of the two. It's frustrating. There's nothing you can do. You got to grit and bear it. You just got to put him in your lineup and hope that he blows up. He gets back to form.
He looks bad on yards after catch too. Like those screen passes, it just doesn't look like the same player. He looks more like Trey McBride would on those passes. When Trey McBride's more of a PPR guy, like a catch and fall down dude. Like that's not Brock Bowers. But
I think he ended up getting 26 yards on those 2 screen passes, which is good, but it's not what you would expect when you're getting a guy in space who is a monster of a man, right? Like a downhill.
I'm just salty because I lost two of my 3 bets on those 2 clowns. But I will say, Justin Fields 3-0 I bet Justin Fields every game he's played over rushing yards. That hit, and then Yoshi Vosh was at 11.5 tonight. I don't know if you saw in the Discord. Those are my 2 plays. He only had 1 catch for 22 yards, but
that was only his second.
All he needed was 11
reception of the year.
Yeah, I know, but he was still playing 82% of the snaps all year. I'm like, dude, how is that number 11.5? That's just crazy low. In a game I knew they were gonna have to throw.
Well,
we got some more. Got CK started Wilson because of Discord and your advice for the win. Thank you guys. Andrew says, should I trade Saquon for Amon-Ra and Kenneth Walker? Yeah, dude. And I hate the tiny dancer, but you want Amon-Ra for Saquon is almost fair right now, and you're getting a free Kenneth Walker.
If we were redrafting tomorrow, who would go number 1 overall? Bijan Robinson, probably, right?
Yes.
And then after that, I think you can have a conversation about CMC, Puka, and Amon-Ra St. Brown as the number 2 pick.
Yeah, and Gibbs is in there as well because I feel like we haven't seen the best from Gibbs. But I'd say Gibbs would be like where he was drafted already, 5 or 6.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, how do you not take Puka there?
You have to. I mean, the problem is here's what I'm pissed about Puka. We both faded him because of Matt Stafford. It wasn't because of Puka. Like, and I'm watching Matt Stafford take quarterback sneaks, bro. Like, in like not even like the situations where he should, right? It's not like 4th quarter stuff. So like, I think that might have been a fucking lie, right? Like Matt Stafford looks great.
Maybe he just didn't want to go to training camp. I saw him take a hit yesterday where he basically got bent in half and he popped right up. I'm like, man, God, herniated disc, and the guy is bouncing around the field like he's in his 20s again. I don't know. I did end up getting some shares of Puka. In fact, I think I talked about this in my home league. Instead of keeping Achane and Amon-Ra, I kept Puka and Amon-Ra. And I don't think I could have gone wrong either way, but I kind of like the fact that I got the number 1 and number 2 wide receivers on the year so far.
Yeah. What do you think about Jalen Waddle now that Tyreek Hill is almost certainly done? And I made the comment to my wife, like, how I had Benson everywhere, but seeing James Conner get hurt me, like, because I love James Conner. He's a great dude. Beyond the fact he's won me a lot of money in the past, like, great dude, leader. This is probably the end of his career. Tyreek Hill's the other end of the spectrum. Like, we don't root for Tyreek Hill as a person, so it wasn't like, oh fuck Tyreek Hill, I'm sad. Like, not rooting for injury. I'm just saying, like, it's not like a big loss to the community.
No,
that he's injured.
Don't forget that Tyreek Hill broke his 3-year-old son's arm, so let's not feel too bad for Tyreek Hill.
Oh, he's done 5 things, 5 different domestic things. He's just kind of a clown. Anyways, this is a Jalen Waddle question. Is he a good wide receiver 2 for Week 5 against the Panthers? Where would you generally be ranking him going forward? Because he was in the the wide receiver 3 discussion, top 32-ish. He's had a couple decent games, but now are we looking at him in mid wide receiver 2 range?
I think you have to. Well, I don't know about that. Certainly in the 19 to 24 range week to week. This week I would probably put him around 22. I would guess. The concern there is that the Carolina offense is just so putrid. I don't know how many opportunities that the Dolphins are going to need. So I put him as a low end wide receiver 2, high end wide receiver 3 for the rest of the year. That Miami offense looks better, but they're certainly not back to their 2023 form or 2022 form. So, right. But he's going to be necessary. Like it is a target thing. So yeah, I kind of come around a little bit on my Waddle take.
Rudy asked if he should finally shop around Chase Brown. You can't do it now. It's not like he had a big game. If he had scored a touchdown, maybe. I'm still holding pat on Chase Brown. It's an L. I mean, you're taking an L from where you drafted him, but like you're going to take a bigger L if you trade him for, J.K. Dobbins or some shit, and then Chase Brown becomes a, every week top 15 play, which could still happen if the offense turns around a little bit. Or he's still getting all the snaps.
So think about it this way. If they end up trading for someone like Kirk Cousins, then Chase Brown's value goes up. So right now it's as low as it's going to get. There's really nothing you can get for him. You're getting pennies on the dollar. Do you have to start him is a bigger question. Should you start Chase Brown next week?
Right.
And I don't know. Right. I don't know if you can.
No, and the thing about you mentioned like a trade for Kirk Cousins. Like, unfortunately, with what we've seen from Penix, I don't think that the Falcons in a win now mode are going to be rushing to trade Kirk Cousins. I know he makes a lot of money, but like they need some insurance there because Penix has been up and down. And I know he's the quarterback of the future, but it don't look good right now. I know this week was better, but you kind of want to keep the best backup in the league. And again, I don't even know how good Kirk Cousins is. Like I said this last week, I didn't think he's better than Browning. Now I'm gonna step that one back a bit and say he probably is better than Browning. But like we saw Browning be functional, right? 4-3 2 years ago as a starter. He came in really nice against the Jaguars. He did throw 3 picks, but at least he was moving the offense. Right now, you're not seeing any movements. It's stagnant as shit.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Who do the Bengals have next week? Do you know offhand?
I don't know offhand.
They've got the Lions, so that's not a good spot.
Well, it's good game script.
Could be. But
that's what we're gonna say all the time.
Tonight was a good game.
Yeah, right.
So I get it. Like people, you want to have some hope, but listen, T. Higgins 3 for 32, Chase Brown 3 for 31 in passing, 10 for 40 on the ground. That's not terrible. Jamar Chase 5 for 23. There's nothing. Like there's no. This is the opposite of the Bills. Like there's no meat on the bone here.
Right. That's a good point from Sub-Zero. Thoughts on Ollie Gordon being such a large part of the offense? Because I think the Hill injury will do more for the run game, mostly because I think they're going to have to play both of them on the field at the same time. They might have A-Chain split out in the slot and do some more creative stuff, which is going to give Ollie Gordon snap share. He's going to go from 33% to maybe 50%, which is what we want, right, Story?
Yeah, but I wouldn't be rushing to crown Ollie Gordon as the next Tyler Algier. Trying to think of what other backups that are kind of got that.
Blake Corum.
Yeah, Blake Corum now. Ollie Gordon only had 6 attempts today. Like that's way down from week 3. So I'm not convinced that there was a shift. The other backfield I was thinking of was RJ Harvey. So J.K. Dobbins popped off tonight. Absolutely. Over 100 yards on the ground, 16 attempts. He's clearly the bell count, but RJ Harvey's got
Harvey
so
played
much
well too.
Yeah, Harvey played well in the ground game, got receptions, had that receiving touchdown. I think you're pretty happy with the step forward that RJ Harvey took. So, yeah, RJ. I'm
going to have one thing to say about that, though, Story. We did see Tyler Bidet still have like 12 snaps. Like until we need to see, but yeah, he was playing at the end of the second half, end of the first half. He played like a whole drive, like with a 2-minute drill. So like until Bidet is not active or not getting snaps, like I'm not going to be over my skis on starting RJ Harvey. Hey, I know it's a step forward for sure, like for his long-term outlook, but yeah, like having Bidet in there is just like a turd in the punch bowl.
I guess the benefit is Bidet didn't receive a carry and only had 2 targets. So while he's getting snaps, it seems like he's only in there for pass protection.
Agreed. Munchbox, what's up, man? What's AJ Brown's value right now? Do I trade him? I'm going to just play a clip for you that's going to kind of just sum up AJ Brown right here.
Well, you can camp out here for a while.
Well, this is pretty sweet. Is this couch fold out to a bed?
Yeah, totally great bed. But that's Jenkins' bed. Your bed's over here.
Dude, that is so fucking weak. How am I supposed to get a chick in that?
No, don't worry, dude. You couldn't get a chick if you had a $100 bill hanging out of your zipper.
Yeah, I could.
Now, dude, you're a little bitch.
I am not. I don't even know why I hang out with you guys.
Because you're a piece of shit.
I am not a piece of shit.
That's AJ Brown. You get the dog bed. You don't get a nice, queen size or king size bed. You don't get any high value targets. It's rough right now. And I will say 9 targets, 2 catches, 7 yards. And I was, watching Red Zone, and I had another game up, but I also had the play-by-play of that game up. And I saw a series of 3 and out they had, and I think it was a third quarter, maybe fourth quarter, because Jalen Hurts had 0 completions in the second half, which is just mind blowing. It was 3 straight incompletions to AJ Brown. It was like incomplete to AJ Brown, incomplete to AJ Brown, incomplete to AJ Brown. What the hell's going on, Story?
They don't need to throw. Like, their mentality has always been, we are going to control this game by whatever means necessary, and they're going to lean into it heavily. In this case, it's the running game is working extraordinarily well. They don't need to force the ball to any one player. So AJ Brown is not he's such a good talent, but they just don't care to utilize him in that regard. I think he's getting frustrated, though. He's always seemed so even-keeled and cool about it, but did you see what he posted on social media?
Yeah, some cryptic-ass shit.
Yeah. I don't know what that means. I would be concerned, but I would just keep starting him. I don't think that trading him right now makes sense. I would just keep starting him. He is going to be a lot more volatile than we thought, but you're going to get good games as well as bad games.
Right. He looks a little chubby too. Wally says, would you trade CeeDee Lamb plus Walker or Jordan Mason plus Zay / Keenan Allen? We're going to go Keenan Allen in that trade. So Jordan Mason, Keenan Allen, CeeDee Lamb, and Walker for Bijan. I would do the Jordan Mason, Keenan Allen one.
Jordan Mason, Keenan Allen.
Depending on your record. If you have a losing record, you want to trade CeeDee Lamb and Walker. If you have a winning record, you want to trade Jordan Mason and Keenan Allen, right?
Yeah, if you can hold on to Lamb, if you got a winning record and you don't need to kind of make sure that you have absolute wins, then that makes sense. Otherwise, yeah, if you need to string some wins together, you're going to have to part ways with CeeDee Lamb, unfortunately.
Mark, that's because you're watching the show. I'm taking all the credit for him being 4-0. His first 2 picks were Jamar and Bowers. I'm taking all the credit. I don't care. He has Puka and JT. Wally has Puka and JT. Yeah, bro. You try to get another fucking blue chipper on that team, and you're just going to be just coming on their faces. Sam says just traded McCarthy, Shakir, Loveland for a third and a third for Bowers, Geno, and Mooney in Dynasty. You pretty much traded nothings for Bowers. Like I think the thing you gave up most was a third rounder almost.
Yeah.
Loveland might be something, and Shakir's all right.
You needed that third round in there to get that deal done. But it's a good trade.
Yeah, I like that trade. Yeah. Michael just got offered AJ Brown and Chris Olave for J.K. Dobbins and Marvin Harrison. Full PPR, he's 3-1. He has Barkley, Henry, Scat, and Walker, and Ibuka. So he's getting AJ Brown and Olave for Dobbins and Harrison. I think I like that, dude. Because I would probably put AJ Brown and it depends if you don't need the running back, I guess, right?
You're getting rid of. Who else are his wide receivers? Did he say? No, he did. Ibuka, QJ.
Yeah, Ibuka, QJ, and Myers.
So he definitely, if he only has Ibuka, QJ, Myers, and Marvin Harrison right now, then it does seem like he needs some more depth at wide receiver. No, he doesn't have Harrison. He's got. Oh, he does. Okay, so he's getting AJ Brown and Chris Olave. Yeah, Dobbins. I don't think he's going to maintain this level of production all year long. I'm not sold on Marvin Harrison. I get that he had a little bit of a coming out party, but he could absolutely turn back into a pumpkin next year. So I think it's a good trade.
Yeah, especially in Dynasty. J.K. Dobbins is like nothing in Dynasty. Oh, this isn't Dynasty. I'm confused. We're confused. All right, Mark says Harvey's good game tonight. Outlier because of the blowout. Thoughts? He did look good. He actually looked like a decent NFL player, which he has not quite looked like that early on. We always thought he's dynamic, and Dobbins is more of just a guy. So would you start him next week?
I thought that he looked really good last week. I thought he's certainly come into his own, but Sean Payton does not want to give him a ton of carries right now, a ton of looks. He's getting receptions. It's not going to get it done. Don't get fooled. I think that Mark's right here that this was very much a game script thing, and he's probably going to regress next week. I don't know that I would start him, depending on what your other options are. Bye week start next week, so you might be kind of forced into it, depending.
Yeah. Has Woody Marks surpassed Chubb? Story?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. Chubb is just a depth piece right now. and it's going to continue to trend that way. I mean, he's lost a spark that he made him Nick Chubb, unfortunately, and he's a good backup, but this is Woody Marks' backfield to let go of now.
The reason that he surpassed him in my mind was they shut out Tennessee, so they were winning the whole game, and that's not exactly a Woody Marks game script from what we were sold on the player. That's a Chubb game script. So the fact that he outsnapped him and outproduced him in a game where they were winning by 20 points tells me that he's going to outsnap him every game, because if it doesn't matter the game script, which we were thinking Woody Marks was more of the ancillary back. It appears it's going to be a 50-50 split with maybe 60-40 Woody Marks next week.
Yeah, and I like to think that D'Amico Ryans is smart enough where he's going to get the right player in at the right time, whether he's a rookie or not. In this case, Marks being that right player. You know, a lot of coaches are stubborn where they've got this philosophy about starting rookies or players that, you know, starting vets versus over rookies. In this case, I think D'Amico Ryans is making the right decision. You will see. I don't think that he is getting 100% of the backfield or even 70% of the backfield next week. You'll see his name pop up on every single waiver wire article under the sun this week. But I have real concerns about starting him next week, strictly because he's in a timeshare on a really bad offense.
Okay, this one's close to us, Story, since we have this man on our team. We pulled out a great win tonight, though. Thank you, Garrett Wilson.
Thank you, Garrett Wilson.
He won me 3 weeks. I didn't realize he actually lost me another league. So it was 3-3. I won 3 games and lost 1 because of that play. I don't care. That's still a win for me. Bryce said, should I hit the panic button on Derrick Henry and trade him, or should I hold for a little longer? What is your feelings? Real quick. I'm going to grab a beer. I'm going to play the intro just because I forgot to play that, and it has to do with Derrick Henry. And then we'll talk about Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry as a ghost.
The thing about Patrick Swayze, the thing about Derrick Henry, you know what's kind of sad is that Patrick Swayze is a ghost right now because he's dead. And I ripped that man. I love Patrick Swayze. What a guy. He looked great with his shirt off. Chippendales. I'm a faraway guy. Love Roadhouse. So what do you think? I mean, we obviously don't have trades in our league because it's a public Fantrax league. But what are your thoughts on Derrick Henry? I mean, you have to hold him because you can't do anything else, right?
I'm not terribly worried about it. In fact, if Lamar Jackson's injury is serious, I think they're probably going to need to lean on Henry a little more than usual. Who's the backup there? Do you know offhand? Cooper Rush, right?
Yeah, Cooper Rush.
He's serviceable. He's obviously a huge step down from Lamar Jackson and a completely different style of quarterback. So they probably need to. Now, if you ask me on a NFL level, I think Harbaugh's got to go. The guy has lost control of this team. I don't think he knows what he's doing anymore. He's kind of fallen it, when you sit in one of those super comfy chairs and you're really tired and you're like, I don't ever want to get up. That's where Jim Harbaugh is right now, or John Harbaugh is right now. And 5.3 yards per carry, 8 for 42, along a 14. In 8 carries, two reception. What are we doing? Like, why are we not getting Henry the ball when it was working? Like, why is Justice Hill on the field? Love Justice Hill, bro. It's so stupid. I don't know. I am worried about it, but there's nothing you can do. I mean, you trade Henry. I think you might be able to get some value, but if you're going to trade Henry, you want to get somebody like a who's like a Josh Jacobs, and that window snapped shut real fast after last night. So I don't know that you're going to get value on him. I think that the Ravens should wise up here, and we'll get a big Derrick Henry. I hope we get a big Derrick Henry game next week.
All right, the Smitty, start 2 running backs, Henderson, Monty, Benson, or Marks. Benson for sure against the Titans. And then it looks like Monty against the Ravens. I mean, especially if Lamar's out, it's Monty. If Lamar's playing, I could see going Henderson in full PPR, only if it's full PPR. But Benson for sure. And then Marks, let's just wait and see a little bit more from Marks.
Yeah, let's give it a week or two. Now, if you need upside, like if you're the big underdog, then I'd probably go Benson and Marks. Just realize that it's a huge swing and you could absolutely miss. Otherwise, you know exactly where you're going to get from Monty. And you've got probably like a 30% chance to get a touchdown. And you're going to get 14 carries for 60 yards, right? You know what you're getting, and probably one reception. You know what you're getting from Monty.
Yeah, you do. Last week was rough, but Dustin says just traded Chase Brown for Dobbins. Thoughts? If you have a winning record, I would probably rather have Chase Brown because I think it'll be better ultimately long term. But if you're 1-3, I mean, it's hard to trust, especially with a tough matchup against Detroit. I probably want Dobbins.
Looks like he did well after tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I hate selling so low on Chase Brown because it's like that's not even that low because Dobbins looks like a for sure RB2. It's just like I don't know. I just don't believe in Dobbins like season long. I think that just even if he stays healthy, it's going to be a 50-50 split with Harvey eventually.
Well, yeah, we saw this. We saw this exact same thing play out with Dobbins on the Chargers last year. And even if he stays healthy, at some point, like he's going to start to fade. The dude just can't get it done for 17 games.
Yeah. Jason says Malik is my number one. I have Adams and Ibuka. Golden is on my bench. Do I need it to make a trade? No, I think you're fine with Adams and Ibuka. I mean, who would you even trade? I guess Ibuka you could sell high on, but with Evans being out, I don't like that. So I think you can kind of just hold serve with the guys you have. And pick up Iomanner, dude.
Maybe he has an excess of running back talent that he can unload. In that case,
there you go.
Upgrade.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade necessarily any of your receivers just because you're thin at that position. And if you can maybe pair two of them, like Adams and Golden, but like I don't think you're getting shit for Golden right now. What are your thoughts on Quentin Johnson story? Because we talked about this. We saw it one more week. And let's kind of pivot that into a Lad McConkey combo because talk about bust. And I should make that video about Lad McConkey with Jenkins bed because Lad McConkey is just like running all the routes, but they only throw the ball downfield now apparently.
Well,
did you know that?
Well, McConkey had 6 targets, 1 reception. That is
11 yards.
The guy is a technician. He's got great hands, but he's not an alpha wide receiver, prototypical. Quentin Johnson was a good wide receiver in college. Was a very, very good wide receiver. There's a reason he was drafted so high. And we used to have a third, if you remember years ago, we used to have a third-year breakout. Then it became a second-year breakout. Now we're expecting every rookie to come in the league to be Emeka Egbuka. Now they all can't be that, although I kind of thought that Emeka Egbuka was that guy. Just tuned my horn a little bit there. In this case, Quentin Johnson looks like he's made the next step. He's made the leap, and I'm glad that I picked him up on waivers. You would be really happy. And right now, if you tell me I've got to start one of those 3 guys, I'm starting Quentin Johnson, and then I'm starting Keenan Allen. And then if push comes to shove, I'm putting McConkey on the bench and waiting until things are like they threw the ball 41 times yesterday and
6 targets,
1 reception, 6 targets. Like,
yeah, well, that's even
not
worse.
A good target share. Certainly not a good catch percentage. Like there's something missing there, and I don't know what it is.
So with the Joe Alt injury, though, I think that might ultimately help McConkey because they're not going to have the time to throw downfield. Do you think this is a smash spot to bet on McConkey's yards next week? Because let's just guess it's going to be at like 46.5, right? They can't put it at 55. Everyone will bet the under. With the Alt injury and Slater being hurt now, so they're down 2, not just their 2 tackles, not their 2 best offensive linemen, 2 of the best tackles in the NFL. This helps Lad in my mind, just based on schematically. Should we bet on Lad next week? I mean, is that stupid?
I wouldn't.
I would. I do.
I don't like without a scheme change, without without actually seeing it. I don't know that this is certainly a passing team now, which is good. Like it's bad it's not. I mean, it's good for everybody in general, but they don't seem like they're interested in making Lad McConkey the number one. He thrived on volume last year, and without that, it's going to be a rough road for Lad McConkey.
All right, Story, what do you think about A.J. Brown for ETN? Who would you want out of those 2? Let's call it full PPR.
Probably ETN.
The positions don't really matter.
Yeah, like of all the dysfunction there is in Jacksonville, it seems like ETN is the one guy who keeps getting it done. So you're going to have to wait a while for Tootin to be a thing. As long as ETN looks like the guy he was 2 years ago. And that's great if you're an ETN holder. So you might as well get out from under the headache that is the Eagles offense and get like a steady Eddie producer. I'm just going to look up his stats real quick.
Yeah, DB Ballott's in here. What's going on, DB? Good to see you. Sam says start Woody over Scat or Benson, or still trust those 2 more. Benson has a dream matchup against the Titans. Dream matchup. So it's him for sure. And Scat just literally had 27 like opportunities. So I'm definitely starting those two over Woody, but that's a good, like a great stash in the bench. And you're going to be able to start him in a couple of weeks, maybe over those dudes, depending on what happens with Nick Chubb.
Well, and you got bye weeks coming up too. So Woody is a great guy to have in that case. But no, I wouldn't start him this week over Scatterbo or Benson. Those guys are they're the one for the team. Now, what's weird is this Benson swap of third downs from the third down hurry up back was Benson. Now that he's a starter, now it's DeMarcado.
Stupid.
Like why? Stupid. Like what purpose does it serve? Like you've got these set roles and you got to have certain guys in certain roles. I don't understand it. So it does limit Benson's upside, but he's still the starting running back on an NFL offense.
And he had 4 receptions that game too, even in a bad game, when he was just playing early down. So
Sure.
He'll be fine. He's still a top 20 play. I was maybe ahead of my skis saying top 15. I still believe in the guy. Mark says Jamar for Josh Allen. He's 4-0, so I have patience, but it stresses me out. Allen owner lost Tyreek tonight. I think if you're 4-0, especially for those, you're probably going to be in the playoffs. Having that elite quarterback is such an edge in the playoffs. You can just load up your bench with high upside position players and just forget it at quarterback. He has Kyler right now as his quarterback, so I think I would do that one. What about you, Story?
If he's got Kyler, then I don't see any reason not to do that. But wait, well, he's got he has Kyler.
Yeah, he has Kyler. So he's going to just get rid of Jamar Chase. He obviously has a stacked roster of like position players. He gets rid of Jamar, he gets Josh Allen.
Yeah. I mean, it is such an upgrade. I mean, that is a positional advantage. I don't really like trading for quarterbacks in general because there's so much talent.
I don't either.
Out there, but in this case, I mean, Jamar Chase is not the number 1 overall pick anymore. You got to readjust expectations.
Sam says Ayuk and Pacheco for Hubbard and Dynasty. I mean, Pacheco looks almost like a nothing. They might even bring in Breece Hall, like, you know what I mean? And Ayuk is just Kyle Shanahan hates him. So I would want Hubbard and Dynasty.
Breece Hall, what do you mean?
I was saying Pacheco's value already sucks, and I think the Chiefs might bring in Breece Hall.
You mean
there's
trade
a chance
for him?
they bring in someone? Yeah.
You think that Breece is still on the block?
Oh yeah, I don't care about Braylon Allen's injury. Also, that brings me to a good point. Isaiah Davis needs to be picked up in every league because if Braylon Allen's out for the year, and like beyond the fact he's a handcuff, he's going to get meaningful snaps, which we've seen what they do in New York there. But now you have the probably 50%. The report came out yesterday. They might trade Breece Hall, and they're 0-4 right now. Like they're probably going to trade Breece Hall. So you're looking at like a high-end handcuff because you have the possibility of him just becoming a starter because of a trade, not an injury. So
yeah, but I wouldn't do this deal in Dynasty. I don't know what Hubbard's long-term value is. I know that the team paid him, but they're losing, and Rico Dowdle has been cutting into his work significantly.
But what is Pacheco's value in Dynasty? Right?
Yeah.
And like, what is Ayuk's value? Maybe is it because you think Ayuk might have Dynasty value?
Well, it's because I think Ayuk's got Dynasty appeal. They're at this point they're going to need him when he comes back. Yeah.
Ryan says trade Njoku for Strange. That's a wash for me. I mean,
yeah,
it's I don't know because they're using Hunter Long a lot, dude.
That's the problem with this position this year is it's not just even those like kind of scrappy guys. Like they're getting those targets that should be all going to Strange are getting spread out. And Njoku and Harold Fannin are cannibalizing each other. Like it's taking one really good tight end and turning him into 2. You know, we started to see that a little bit with Cole Kmet and Colson Loveland there. That was going to be another headache. So I don't know. It's a wash, whichever one you like best. From week to week, though, I do not think you can count on either one of those guys for regular production. I would look somewhere else.
Steve Casey in the chat. What's going on, brother? My guy. He's a Discord wizard that is taking care of our stuff. So I appreciate you.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a whole team. I got a whole team of IT people because I'm Amish. So
got a team.
Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave rest of the season. It's Garrett Wilson, dude. Like that was a bad game tonight, but he should have had 2 tutters. Guy's elite. And there's no one else there. Mason Taylor's the only one getting targets besides the running backs. So Garrett Wilson by a landslide.
Garrett Wilson, and they're going to be throwing a lot. That's just the nature of that offense.
Yeah, Io Manor's possibly not a must start this week, but if Ridley misses, Io Manor's going to see 10 targets, dude, and he's a good player.
Yeah, it's just that offense is so bad right now with Cam Ward. So, but if Ridley misses, Iomanner is definitely a start. I mean, Iomanner has been sitting around on my bench for a while now in a couple places, just waiting for bye weeks or something to come up. This would be the case. Like I would start him over. I mean, I would start him over McConkey, certainly. Next week.
Story. We were literally touting Iomanner in early July. We were touting him in August. We were saying week 1, if you didn't draft, we told you to draft him. We said if you didn't draft him, pick him up week 1. And like now he's the hot topic, waiver topics week 3. Now week 4, he'll definitely be a must add if he's not owned. But he's on like all of my teams. And I love the player. I love the situation. And Calvin Ridley just looks terrible. We whiffed on that one, bro. So as much as I say we killed the Iomanner take, we fucking told you to draft Calvin Ridley too. So a wash, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, yes. But I think you look at I don't know what's going on with Calvin Ridley. That one's tough. But yeah, that was definitely a miss on our part.
Phoenix has Neighbors, who's gone. Adams, Addison, Devonta Smith, T. Higgins. Am I a hold, or should I look to upgrade with the depth you have? Always look to upgrade, but you can't upgrade with any of those guys. You could maybe look to trade Addison after one. He should have had that touchdown, that long touchdown. Still scored 15. Could have been 24. So if someone was watching that game, and Addison's a name, right? I would possibly look to trade him in a bench piece for an upgrade. But that's the only one I trade. Adams will be better going forward. Higgins can't be worse. And Devonta Smith, I don't know if he could be better, but none of those guys have like equal trade value to what I think their long-term projection is.
No, I don't think so. I think Adams is underrated right now. Matthew Stafford only has eyes for Adams in the red zone for some reason, and that's probably going to continue. So you've got a huge upside with Devonta. It doesn't look like he's missed a step right now, but the problem is Puka Nacua is just a dog amongst puppies. He's just better than everybody else on the field.
He's a fucking pit bull, bro. Dustin says, is Herbert still a must start, or should I go with someone like May? Drake May looks great for fantasy. We started him this week in our league, and I started him in a few spots. He looks like a young Josh Allen right now, man. So you're going to get a lot of just like big plays. You're going to still get some turnovers, but if you have a low, like if it's -1 for a pick, I like Drake May more. If it's -3 for a pick, which I play a few leagues like that, I'd rather start Herbert.
Well, yeah,
it seems like a weird tiebreaker, but
I mean, certainly next week I would start Drake May. The Patriots are at the Bills, while the Chargers are at home versus the Commanders. And I don't. Which game you think is going to be higher scoring? Probably the Bills and the Patriots.
Yes, yeah, it's a good matchup. I mean, you just saw Spencer Rattler do pretty well. At least the Saints' offense was moving the ball, and you made this comment as your one big thing after week 3 was you're like the Bills' defense is not good. And because it was after the Dolphins game, you're like the ball can be moved on them, and that's good for the likes of Josh Allen though, and for the wide receivers there, for the foreseeable future. Their defense is not great. Like they're going to give up at least 20 every game.
The passing game.
Michael says, should I sell Ricky Pearsall for Ladd? I mean, Pearsall's hurt right now. They play Thursday. I don't think he's playing. It looked bad. He tried to come out there for one snap after he banged it on the ground. And man, their whole team, dude, the Niners are just fucking like the Walking Dead right now. Fucking brutal. Brock Purdy's hurt again. Like he's going to be hurt all year. It's a mess, man. He looks
something like something's off. I don't know if it's the injury or he's just having a bad year, but he doesn't look all that good right now. I mean, I was hoping Pearsall would kind of be. You just don't hear much about him. You don't hear much about that team other than they're always banged up right now.
Except for McCaffrey. Somehow that dude's healthy and 30 touches a game. Fucking wacky. I told you about that theory about the voodoo doll, that he's just taking everyone's strengths. And it just looks more and more like that's the case. All right, get to your comments here. Gentlemen, we actually did get monetized. I want to make that announcement. So we are good. We are good to go. I think Super Chat's eligible. I know it's pretty slow night, so you probably don't have to do that. If you want to pay me money, I'd really appreciate it. Not like a homeless dude asking for money, but yeah, I'm actually outside. This is all like a green screen. I'm like sitting in a fucking alley in Chicago right now with a crackhead over to my left about to shank me. Let me know though, Steve, let me know. Is the Super Chat enabled though? I just want to know. I can't see on this. Anyway, we have, should I start to panic on Jamar Chase? Yes, but you can't do anything about it. There's nothing you can do. You can't trade him. I mean, if you can get someone trading up on him, not where you drafted him, but for name value, right? Like you do it if you want. I won't do it. I'm trading for Jamar Chase right now, and I'm going to try to just fleece the owner because they're probably going to be 1-3. Maybe 1-4.
What would you send to get? What do you think the lowest you can give to get Jamar Chase would be right now?
I'm just trying to think within the same position. That's a tough one, man. Like Ladd. I'm kidding. You can't do that.
Would you trade Quentin Johnson to get Jamar Chase?
Oh, fuck yeah, bro. I mean, I know 4 weeks is 4 weeks, but come on, man. Like,
do you think
I'm not going down that hole yet?
Yeah. I mean, do you think that would get it done, though?
I hope not. If you're an idiot, you would take that trade if you had Jamar Chase. Like, don't do that. No, it's 4 weeks. I know 4 weeks is a fourth of the season, but talk to me in week 6. That's all I got to say. And I'm going to keep on saying this about Quentin Johnson, even though I was the biggest defender of Quentin Johnson last year, going into the year, saying I know he wasn't a bust. And I'm a little salty. I don't have a lot of shares of him, but yeah, it's crazy. Unique is in the chat. How you doing, bro? He traded Pacheco for Prescott. I have Lamar in case he's out. Well, yeah, I mean, Pacheco looks, and the concerning thing about Pacheco is Brashard Smith actually started getting some run. And of course, Pacheco's touchdown he scored was a reception because he's never getting a goal line carry ever. He's never going to get a goal line carry, right?
I would tell people to go and pick up Brashard Smith, but I fear you're going to have another commander situation, and it's just going to be a three-headed monster. Like it's probably you're going to see Brashard Smith's name in waiver wire articles, but I don't know. Like he's worth a roster spot. Like what are you going to do with him? When are you going to start him? You would need an injury to Hunt or to Pacheco for it to be realistically startable. Yeah,
100%. But in a deep league like Dynasty, especially, I don't mind that one. Mark says Sharp is on my IR, needs to be activated. Was going to drop Judy over Coleman, but Tillman multi-week injury. Yeah, you can't drop Judy now that Tillman's out. They're rolling with Isaiah Bond, and he literally might get arrested the next 2 weeks. So that's what that guy does. So, I mean, I don't want to drop Keon Coleman though, bro. But
I'll tell you what, drop your kicker and figure it out later in the week. Come back to us on a later stream and we'll help you out. Like you don't need a kicker right now.
Ryan, you do have the best gifts in the Discord chat. They make me smile. They make my heart flutter. Noah says if Ridley misses Io Manor over Ladd, I'm still not going to go that far. I don't think. Are you, Story?
No, because I would go Quentin Johnston over Ladd, certainly. But Io Manor hasn't proven like he's unbeatable, that he's going to be absolutely producing. And the offense is still difficult to wrap your head around.
Yeah. I'm still going Ladd. I'm going to be saying this again for another 7 weeks. And I hate Ladd. I faded him this year. I have 1 share in 25 leagues. Actually, if I count my wife's drafts, I have 1 share in fucking 36 leagues. So obviously I was fading Ladd McConkey. I never thought he was going to be this bad, though. This is fucking nuts. Have Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall in Dynasty. Should I trade one? I would wait just because, like I said, I think there's a chance Breece Hall gets traded. And then, it's hard to start 2 Jets right now. That's for sure. But with Braylon Allen being out, this is good for Breece Hall.
This is as good as it's going to get for startable Breece Hall, but it also means that his trade value is probably at the highest it is. No, I mean he could absolutely pop off for another big game, but it's hard to. You're right. It's hard to start 2 Jets. It doesn't look like that team is going to go turn it around anytime soon. I kind of worry about how long Justin Fields is going to be the starter there. Like he got points off of garbage time tonight, but that was rough to watch for 3 quarters.
The only thing is, why in the world would the Jets at 0-4 play a 35-year-old Tyrod Taylor? What's the point? What's the point? All they're going to do, if it's a better move for their team, all it's going to do is win them more games, if that's what you're saying. And Aaron Glenn is a first-year coach. He has no risk of being fired. So, you just roll out Justin Fields, right? At least it's more entertaining, at least for me. I mean, I like betting on his rushing prop, and I have him in fantasy, and he still pulled off a nice fantasy game. Steve won a league by less than 1 point because of Bo Nix pop off. I'm a happy camper. I lost the league because of that stupid Bo Nix touchdown to RJ Harvey, and I had fucking Will Lutz going everywhere, bro. I had Myers in legit, I don't know, 11 leagues going last week, and he killed it. And I dropped him because I liked Will Lutz's matchup this week at home against the Bengals. So I pretty much swapped him out. Fucking Myers scores 15, and Will Lutz scores 4. No field goal attempts. What the fuck? What the fuck?
They didn't try 1 field goal?
No,
well, I guess
it's 28
touchdowns. Right? Yeah.
Bullshit, bro. That's the problem with kickers. Ooh. So Sam said, I just did the Hubbard trade. Now I'm trying to flip Hubbard for a 27 second and a 27 second for Odunze. Is that worth it? 100%. Now we're talking, because Odunze is great in Dynasty and good for redraft too.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at this comment. Every time I wear the Ween shirt, people love it. Everyone loves Ween. Ween fans. Story, do you even know anything about Ween?
No, I don't even know what it is. Is it a band?
They're a band. Oh my God. They're a cult band, but they play every single genre. I guess you'd call them like a jam band. They're kind of goofy, but some people don't take them seriously because they have like some really joke songs, but they have like their best 20 songs are like elite level, and they're just diverse. I'll send some to you, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. Wally says someone in my league wants Puka. He is willing to give Bijan up. His team has Baker and Goff, BTJ, Tyler Warren. Any of these players worth a package for Puka?
Ooh.
I wouldn't trade Puka. You can't trade Puka, bro.
Man. But to get Bijan,
good package. Yeah. I guess Bijan and like Tyler Warren if you need a tight end.
Dude,
like,
Bijan is right? Game script proof. I get that Tyler Allgeier's getting a lot of work, but look at what Bijan's doing in like early game, late game, comebacks, receiving work. Like Bijan Puka's not going to go for 170 every week. Who's more likely to get injured this year, Bijan or Puka?
Puka. Even though he's a wide receiver, it's wild to say.
So he's willing to get his team as Baker and Goff and any of the players worth the package. Yeah, man.
Hold on. I got a couple announcements to make. Steve Casey, it is working. Thank you for the hey, $1. That could buy me a pack of gum. I appreciate you. You're also doing a lot of work for me. So Mark, thank you. And Unique dropping a 50 banger.
Dude, Unique coming in hot.
Can finally buy you guys some beers. Appreciate the knowledge and the entertainment. And I appreciate you, Unique. We always do anyway, because you're just an awesome dude. But that's huge, man. This is what I need to not take the job in 2 months and keep doing this full time. Honestly. And I'm on air enough where just every little bit. So I do like fucking 3 hours a night, 7 days a week, 365 days a year is what I'm trying to go for. Yeah, with the Patreon, with my sponsorship deal that's going to come through. I'm going to give you all those details tomorrow, gentlemen. It's going to be dope. Get you guys a sweet promo code. We're going to play against each other. It's going to be great. And Story, I'm going to give you this little tidbit here. With the Patreon, there's the couple higher up tiers. We are going to play some fantasy with the fans. So for next year, for sure, we'll do a couple leagues, and I'll give away one free spot, and then the rest we'll do on like League Safe. But I think this year, I don't know if you ever played playoff fantasy, like actual playoffs fantasy. Super fun.
Dude, I played in a playoff fantasy league with you years ago.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. You did. Well, dude, I play with a lot of people, right? I play with a lot of people. So
you remember? I remember I was in Vegas. We were out there, and I'm like, I gotta start somebody in my fantasy league this week, and it was when the Patriots had like a rotation of running backs. Oh God, I can't remember the names, but my buddy's like, it's like fantasy ended like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, maybe for the casuals, like I'm in it to win it, man.
Oh, fantasy playoffs so fun because you're predicting the outcomes of the game as well as the player's performance. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Canoe built. What's going on, Canoe? Just got offered JT/McLaurin for Bucky and Henderson. Yeah, with Bucky being hurt, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really worried about that Bucky. That Bucky Irving injury that has me.
And McLaurin's hurt too, but it doesn't seem it's bad. I thought it was gonna be like an IR stint because he went to the specialist, but it seems okay. You're getting Jonathan fucking Taylor, bro. Especially if this is half PPR, it's like not even close. Full PPR, I still want JT.
Absolutely.
Thank you, David. Thank you, David. Another sleeper, Isaiah Bond. He looks good, and with Cedric Tillman out and Jerry Jeudy just being a turd. And Njoku looking slow, and they're going to throw the ball a lot. As long as Joe Flacco's starting, we don't know how long that's going to be.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's a stash, right?
You want to stash like the third target on the Cleveland Browns offense? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that. I think that offense is going to run through Quinshon Judkins quite a bit. So I'm not really interested in picking him up unless you got to like it's super deep league.
Right, 14-teamer. Unique says full PPR, Bijan and Gibbs rest of season. It's Bijan. Bijan's the number one player besides Puka. I would just say it's Bijan because the position he plays and everyone's beat up. He looks so good. You see the touchdown he scored? Like it was like a fucking gymnastics move, dude. He's 220 pounds and like it's just unreal, man. Bijan is just legit. The offense runs through him. That's just the point.
Agreed. I didn't see. I was driving to the airport. I didn't see it on Sunday, but I've seen some athletic, like the contact balance that he has is second to none in the league at that position.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he did get caught on that long catch because he does not have that elite breakaway speed like Gibbs does, which is the craziest thing about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry somehow has that breakaway speed, but with Bijan, his agility is literally like. I'm trying to think of a comparison, like an old school, like Walter Payton, like it's like that level of like all-time Hall of Famer. We got Sam says
watching Derrick Henry stream down the field at that speed, at that weight is something else. But did you see Jordan Addison
at that age? Yeah.
Did you see Jordan Addison get tracked down when he had 10 yards on the defender to start? Dude wasn't running with.
That was a linebacker. That was a linebacker that caught him too. Yeah, a small, like a 230-pound linebacker. No, I thought so too. Because the corner didn't catch him. There was a corner chasing him too. Sam has a super chat for us. So he asked if Hubbard plus the 27 first round for a Dunze be worth it. Like that's beyond worth it, brother. Like that's a smash.
Is that what they're coming back with, a 27 first? Because 27 first could be anybody.
I get it, but you're getting essentially, like, I'm not even the biggest Rome guy, but if DJ Moore gets moved, whether it be this year or next year, like Rome Odunze was a top 10 NFL draft pick tied to a fucking elite coach, a young quarterback. Like it's
No, I get. I'm with you because even like we saw with Marvin Harrison, even a first isn't necessarily a guaranteed smash. But Rome Odunze looks like the guy now.
I just traded Debo and Prescott for Jaden Daniels. What do you think? I love it. You're buying low on Jaden Daniels. The only reason I think it's all precautionary. Like I bet he could have played this week. Now he will play because they lost. Jaden Daniels is still the guy.
Yeah, agreed.
See, Unique asks if we think Mixon's coming back. I've been saying it since the news broke. 2 weeks before the season started? He's not playing this year. I'm still standing firm on that because they have a bad record. If he does, he's still going to be nothing. So, like, the only thing it affects is going to affect Woody Marks because Mixon's never going to be playable.
Something just came out today. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it was not good on Joe Mixon. And like we've been saying for weeks, I don't think there's any chance that he plays football in 2025.
Yeah, Dustin, I'll give you one off the top of my head right now for a streaming defense. It's Arizona. They have the Titans next week without Calvin Ridley, probably. That's a smash. Would you agree?
I haven't looked ahead, but I'll just take a quick look at the schedule and see.
I'll go to the next one. You can just say, Mark says, my kicker's on bye. Rest of the bench is Sharp. Oh, so he's talking about that drop he needs to make. Sharp, Harvey, Robinson Jr., Coleman, and Judy. Fuck.
I mean,
and you're 0-4, so you can't roll without a kicker. So I guess you have to drop Coleman, dude. You have to drop Coleman. It sucks, but you have no choice.
Kickers on bye. Rest of bench is Sharp, Harvey, Robinson, Coleman, Judy. Sharp needs to come off. Yeah, but you don't need your kicker right now. Like, let the week play out and see if anything happens. Pick up your kicker on Sunday morning.
Yeah, because it's also a kicker, and we just never know. David says if Brees goes to the Chiefs, who's number 2? We just talked about it. Isaiah Davis, regardless of he's number 2 right now. We don't have any reports on Braylon Allen. It looks like a torn ACL for sure. That's what I'm sorry to say. We were both big Braylon Allen fans. We loved him coming out of Wisconsin. We liked him last year. It sucks, right? It's sad.
It's horrible. I didn't see the play. I was watching the other game. Is he?
It was a kick return. It was a fucking kick return.
Okay.
Why are these? I know he's not like an integral part of the offense. He's there too, but please stop putting like important pieces on the fucking kick return, especially Braylon Allen, who's not like a burner. Like, what are you doing?
Believe it or not, he used to return some kicks at Wisconsin.
I see it. I just don't agree with it. And like, I don't agree with a lot of things coaches do. And I know you hate coaches more than anyone in the world, Story.
Well, every coach is a moron, but
well, you also have 4 degrees, Story, so everyone's a moron compared to you, except for me. I have street smarts. I have street smarts, son. I'm getting paid on YouTube right now. I have street smarts.
Knocks.
Steve says, how much did you suspect Waddle to rise with Tyreek out? We said earlier we think he was wide receiver 32 roughly. Not so much like in terms of stats this year, but that's where we would rank him week in, week out. What were we thinking? 24-ish?
Like I said, 22 to 30 on a weekly basis is where he'll slot in.
Yeah.
It's all
opposed to 30 to 36.
Depending. The Dolphins are going to be very hot and cold this year. The rest of this year.
You think Malik Washington's worth a pickup? Or how about Darren Waller, 2 touchdowns, bro?
That's fool's gold. I wouldn't get suckered into that.
Gold. Yeah, he doesn't play a lot of snaps. Jason says Scat or Dobbins. Also have Hall started over Dobbins for this week. It's Scat for me, man. It's a Scat, man. You got to go Scat, man.
Yeah, I think you have to. He wasn't terribly efficient, but I think you're right. I think you have to go with Scatabo. The workload is guaranteed.
Thank you, Steve. Been 4 years in the making. I got to thank YouTube. I got so many people I got to thank right now. It's like I'm winning an Oscar. No, mostly I got to thank the live streams that have brought this to a bunch of different people that otherwise would not have been, tuned into the show. So it's a different format too, because here's the thing. Me and Story have nothing in front of us. Yeah, we have our other computer, but like we can't look shit up while we're giving our answers on the fly. So like this is all up here. And there's a lot of shows that don't do this because they're not knowledgeable enough to know the names and know the situations and give their takes. Would you agree, Story?
Yeah, we run without show sheets. It's pretty unusual, but we do it.
Yeah, I have a couple jokes built. I come up with jokes, bro. Like I'm preparing for like entertainment more than I am for the content, because we know the content is there. It's what your knowledge is and your opinions on these players. And also the thing is, we're both pretty flexible with our opinions. They do change. We're not dug in like the counselor and some of these other clowns. Like if we're wrong, we admit we're wrong, and we will figure out a way to make it right.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about it earlier in the stream. We were wrong about Ridley, and I'm comfortable saying that 4 weeks into the season. Now, do we get a lot of stuff right? Sure. I mean, I was banging the drum for Jonathan Taylor for months, saying that he's going way too low, and here we are. So
I was banging the drum for Javonte Williams all fucking off season.
I will own my losses. I was very anti Javonte Williams. I ended up taking him in one league where I needed to get some running backs.
I brainwashed you, man. You can only hear it you can only hear it fucking 4 times a week before you start, and you respect my opinion that you're just like, well, you went from where you thought he was and where I had him to like in between, which was fair price.
Right. I'm not going to dig in if new information comes to light.
Yeah. Also for Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders is hurt, so I think Jaden Blue might become a priority pickup depending on that injury. And it's also wheels up for Javonte, but like, Sanders limped to the locker room with a high ankle injury. That could be 3 to 4 weeks.
At least Jaden Blue should be picked up now. He has to be active next week, right? Like they have to activate him.
If he's not active, then like just drop him in Dynasty. Who gives a fuck? Gary says, "Are we giving up on Darnell Mooney?"
No, I'm not giving up on Darnell. I'm not giving up on that offense.
He's hurt.
Yeah,
he's hurt right now, though.
I think you got to give it a week or two. How bad was the injury? Because I know he came out pretty early.
It's a soft tissue, so we don't know, but that's never a good sign. I mean, he was already coming in the year with that was a shoulder injury.
Yeah, he had the shoulder.
So at least it wasn't the shoulder, I suppose.
Right. I was just thinking about back to the Cowboys situation. There's a guy you should probably keep an eye on, and if you have an open IR spot, maybe you want to slot him in. Phil Maffa is another rookie running back there.
He's a banger, bro.
He is a grinder. He's out of Clemson. He went on IR to start the year. He's a guy that's worth keeping an eye on. And like I said, if you somehow got lucky and don't have any injuries, he's a guy you might want to put on there on your IR.
Dude, I was actually just on Grindr, the app. It's one of my secret pleasures. I just fuck around in there. But like the first name that came up was Phil Maffa. And I'm like, yeah, bro, he's hot. He looks great with his shirt off. Sam says it looks like it has to be Hubbard and a 27 first for a Dunze. Yeah, it's still worth it, bro. I know it sucks to give away a first, but if you're in win now mode, especially, and also it's not even like a loss for the future because you're getting a 24, 23-year-old receiver in a second year.
Yeah, we don't even know who's going to be first round talents. I mean, we have some idea,
right?
Like if you want if you like a guy, if you're in a what do you call it? Like where you can draft college players. What's that league where you've got like a set of college players you can lock in? Go and get Trinidad Chambliss out of Ole Miss right now to your taxi squad. Your taxi squad. So it's the guys that you put your claim in on when they're still in college.
Wow. Okay, we have so James Bond is 0-4. They're saying 7% chance of making the playoffs. What do we say? Standard 12-man team, 12-man league. I give it 5%. If you have a decent roster, here's the nice thing about when you're 0-4, if it's not injury-based, and you have Ladd McConkey and some of these players that are busting, they are due for positive regression, right? Just like the 4-0 team like is due for negative regression because players aren't going to have 18 touchdowns, right? Most of them. Players like Calvin Ridley, if he wasn't hurt, for instance, aren't going to have 2 catches every week. And if you have him on your team, you just keep rolling him out there, and eventually it'll regress to the average, right?
Should, but I mean, it's a new year, so things do change. Now, it's very difficult to put a percentage chance on that without knowing the roster. Like, did you have Malik Neighbors, Terry McLaurin, Calvin Ridley, Lamar Jackson? You're probably in a bad spot. You also could have just an absolute banger of a team and just run up against some bad luck and get the high scorer every week, in which case I'd put it at greater than 7%. It's really difficult to say without seeing the team.
Mark makes a great, funny comment here. I love this one. Shedeur Sanders didn't want to go to the Ravens to play behind Lamar. Might have a chance for a few games now. Just still a dumb decision because he would have been drafted higher, which is more money and like whatever. Now he's in the Browns fucking practice squad, bro. How's that working out for you? You clown. He's a clown.
I mean, he's not in the practice squad. He was dressed on Sunday, wasn't he?
Well, might as well be, man. He's a water boy, right? Unique says Bijan is the Allen Iverson in the NFL. Yeah, Allen Iverson with like actual size. Like it's unreal. Andre makes a good point. What's going on, Andre? He says the 27th first could be Jeremiah Smith. Well, that would be the 27th first overall. He's just saying because if he's competitive, his first round pick's going to be a 10th overall. Which now you're looking at some more questionable dudes.
Yeah. I mean, so there certainly Smith will be coming out in the 2027 draft. And looking at the quarterbacks that are going to be available, then right now there aren't any like sophomores that are kind of popping off that would be coming out or true freshmen. So Smith is probably going to be, barring the unexpected, the number one overall fantasy dynasty pick in 2027.
Yeah, and a top 5 NFL pick, right?
Yeah,
I would say
certainly. Yeah.
Wally says if I was to trade Puka and my RB 1/2 Bijan and JT wide receiver, that would be his team. Bijan, JT, Lamb, Wilson. I have Zay, Addison, Allen. Assuming I get Warren, I give him Kraft. I mean, I think Kraft and Warren are pretty close right now, so I don't want that.
I mean, I think I'd rather have Warren rest of the season, but that's just me.
Well, his numbers haven't been there, but Warren has looked the part. It's close, though. It's close. I mean,
Kraft isn't getting carries from the 1 yard line.
Bro, Kraft's got tackled on the fucking quarter yard line twice on last night. Are you serious? He should have had 2 touchdowns.
I'm just saying,
you'd be speaking a whole different tune if those were touchdowns, Story.
Or if
one of them was a touchdown.
It's good to see the Colts are actively getting their rookie wide receiver heavily involved early.
Rookie tight end. He's an all-purpose Swiss.
Yes.
You know what's not good is the Bears taking Colson Loveland over Tyler Warren. That is just rough. That dude's a weapon, bro. Like he should be the star of the movie Weapons. It's just literally like an hour and 40 minutes of just like him doing his daily routine, brushing his teeth, jerking off, like cutting the grass. It's just Tyler Warren doing daily activities called Weapons. He's a fucking weapon. Colby, what's going on? He says, "What's up, Rob?
Colby?
What's up, Story?" We got Sports Spotlight. I just got a trade. I give Judkins and Tet for London. Ooh, that's a lot. If it's a 10-teamer, yes. 12-teamer, probably no, bro. And we love London around these parts, but Tet's a buy low. That's a good buy low right now. He has not found the end zone. He's had a bunch of like really close, deep balls where he stepped out of bounds or it's a bad throw or there's a penalty. Judkins looks like the dude. Unfortunately, the suspension is still possible, but let's throw that out. If it's a 10-teamer, yes. 12-teamer, no. You agree, Story?
I wouldn't do it anyway. I wouldn't give up Judkins and Tet. Tet, like you said, is a buy low. And like I said earlier, I think that offense is going to funnel through Quinshot Judkins for the foreseeable future. At some point, they're going to make a change off of Joe Flacco. Who knows what the offense looks like after that. But until this time, you got a locked and loaded RB2 in Quinshot Judkins. And that is difficult to find these days. When you got Bucky hurt and Chase Brown underperforming, I wouldn't do it.
Mark, you're 0-4. You could not play without a kicker. What you can do is play the first half of, play the noon games. If Coleman plays at 3:00, for instance, but you have to try to win. If you go 0-5, you're just not making the playoffs. At that point, what are we doing? So you have to win this week. So
he's 4-0 and he's facing the 0-4 dude.
Oh, he's 4-0. Shit, my bad. Okay, then I take everything back. You can just play without a kicker.
I mean, it's extremely rare. I have gone a week without a kicker. Assuming your league allows it, they don't have some kind of rule where you have to fill a full roster. I have done it. It's extremely rare because you don't know what the future looks like, and any 0-14 could pop off any given week. Plus, a lot of times, like playoff positioning comes down to points, and sometimes it's as little as 10 points a kicker to make a difference. So what I do in these situations is I look at the Sunday night, Monday night games, and I try to find, all right, if there's a kicker available, I'm going to give it through the end of the 3 o'clock games and then drop a guy on my bench that played to pick up a kicker. Unless I'm like getting blown out by 50 or I'm blowing the guy out by 50.
If your platform allows it, that they're already played and they're not locked.
Make sure. Yeah. On Fantrax, you can't do that. On Yahoo, you
but
can.
Yahoo, you can. Not Jinx. Buy me a Coke. Suck my dick. Pat says Derrick Henry and Slayton for Pickens and Dobbins. So essentially it's Henry for Pickens and Dobbins. Yeah, I'd probably do that, bro.
I don't think I would. I don't think I would.
You still want Henry?
Plenty of good games left in Derrick Henry this year.
I know there are, but like Pickens is like a wide receiver too, even with Lamb coming back, because we love Pickens, and then Dobbins is still solid. I mean, I guess it depends on your record, because if you're like a 1-3, I would do that trade because you obviously need the depth. If you're 3-0 or 3-1 or 4-0, keep Derrick Henry because he will be a difference maker down the stretch. We think. I know he will be.
I mean, yeah, I don't. Slayton is a nothing. Like that's a guy that's going to get rotated through rosters, but I wouldn't give up on Derrick Henry at all.
Sub-Zero, my 3 biggest fool's golds for week 5 are Jordan Mason, ETN, and Pickens. Well, they all look like they'd be smashes. I think I could see ETN, but Jordan Mason's getting 1 million carries. Pickens is getting 1 million targets.
I mean, do we have to readjust expectations for Jordan Mason in that offense in general?
No. Why?
They looked pretty bad in London.
And their offensive line is beat to shit. I get that. I don't care. Jordan Mason, they got to run the ball to protect their quarterback story. Carson Wentz is a turnover machine. That was like Indianapolis Carson Wentz we saw.
There's a reason that dude has been on 7 teams in the league.
Yeah, and his teammates hate him. Scott says, would you drop Mason for Judkins? No. I still like Mason over Judkins, at least for the short term.
On your roster you can drop for Judkins. You should go and get Judkins 100%. But I put Mason and Judkins. I might give Judkins the edge, but I wouldn't drop Mason. Starting running back,
Sub-Zero,
the best commodity in the league.
You have to have them. Sub-Zero, I get he has good points there with the matchups with the Browns. Sauce Gardner. Here's the thing: Sauce Gardner's not very good at football. Now the problem is he shuts down receivers like stat lines because he gets 2 or 3 pass interference calls a week, so it like kills the fucking fantasy receiver he's guarding. And the problem is that Pickens doesn't move around a lot. I think they will move him around to get him off Sauce. But right now, you just have to start Pickens. Like maybe he's just saying they're going to disappoint from what their projections are, and I can get on board with that. G. Allen says, "God damn, you got to chug shotgun a beer to celebration to get monetized." Well, I don't shotgun because I can chug a beer. I'm going to actually upload this awesome clip of me at a bar, shirtless, drinking a pint. It's 3.1 seconds, bro. But I've already had like 12, so I'm going to kind of stay fresh here. So I'll do something. You know what? If I had some illicit substance, I'd probably do it. But then I'd get demonetized very fast. That would be a great thing. I Charlie Sheened it, bro. This is a good one. Bucky, sorry, I missed it. Buckeye in Michigan. I wonder, are the Packers frauds? Sorry, I hit it early. I don't think so. Their cornerbacks are terrible right now. They have bad corner play, not great secondary play. Nixon's okay, but I don't think they're frauds.
You know what would have helped? Taking a cornerback in the middle of the first round instead of taking a wide receiver who's getting 58% of the snaps. Do you think that might have helped a little bit?
Yeah.
A little bit, Green Bay? Do you think that might have helped instead of getting suckered into taking a guy who never had 1,000 yards in his college career per season?
Golden's not great. Emma, we talked about Ladd, but we'll give you the Cliff Notes version. There's concerns with him. I think you still have to start him unless you have. All right, I got one for you, Story. Next week, Ladd McConkey or Chris Olave. Screw the matchups. Just from what we've seen, are you going McConkey or Chris Olave? Full PPR.
Yeah, I mean, I wish it was closer, but I'm going Olave.
Yeah, that's a wash for me. So I guess you'd probably go Olave. I'm still sticking with Ladd because where you drafted him, and like it just what I hate is like if you started Ladd all 4 weeks, which most people did, and you probably 1-3 because of it, and then he comes out and has 9 for $110 and a touchdown, and then you're gonna that's like fantasy hell, right?
Yeah, I mean
I'm going down with the ship. If I was a Ladd owner, I'm going down with the ship. Sorry.
I think you got to make adjustments, and I'm going to follow the targets. It's nice to see the Saints had some heart. They kind of got a little spark. So I'm going to follow the guy who's actually, the number one on the team versus the number, well, it looks like the number 4 behind even Hampton.
It's fucking nuts, man. Sam has Hurts, Bijan, Hampton, Justin Jefferson, Neighbors, Bowers, Knicks. I'm going to go out on the limb and say my 27 first won't be worth Smith. Yeah, so he's got a stacked team. That was back to that dynasty question. So yeah, and he's in win now mode. So we support this trade, bro.
Cross, it's like a 12 or an 11, and you'll be good.
Right. Squiddy says I want to trade Ladd so bad, but knowing my luck, he'll start balling out. It's not even about what he does going forward; it's about what you can get for him. So if you can get someone to give you 80 cents on the dollar based on where you drafted him, so you drafted him in the let's call it late second. If you can get someone giving you essentially late third round value for the guy because they're smart and they know he's probably going to ball out, do it. Get off of that bullshit. But if they're going to give you like 5th round value, like again, if Ladd McConkey or Chris Olave's season long story, who do you want?
I
think issues. We love Chris Olave.
Yeah. God damn, that's tough. I don't know.
It's Ladd, bro. It's got to be Ladd. Come on, like, dude, he's a good player, and like, like Keenan Allen's probably gonna get hurt. Like, I'm just saying, I'm just like trying to grasping at straws. Again, I hate Ladd McConkey. I have 1 share in 36 leagues combined. I drafted for me and my wife. I hate him. I said he was a big fade. It's coming to fruition. I never thought it'd go to this. I never thought we'd be here, right? It's literally people OJ killing someone. We never thought OJ would be on trial for murder.
So okay, I did say this 2 years ago. I said, and Ladd McConkey proved me wrong, but I said when the going got tough, and when he was playing with Brock Bowers on the field at Georgia, Ladd McConkey had a ton of disappearing acts. He was excellent when Brock Bowers was banged up, and he had some really good games even when Brock Bowers was there. But the dude had like a 0-catch game once in college.
Yeah,
alpha wide receivers don't go a game without catching a pass in college against college quarterbacks. So I said that the guy is not he's not going to demand the ball. He's not going to physically demand the ball, and that's a problem when you've got this mind meld between Keenan Allen and Justin Herbert, and you've got Quentin Johnson making an ascension, who again was a very good wide receiver in college. So I have big concerns about Ladd for the rest of the year.
Real quick, Andre says the 2027 class is pure gold story. Do you think it's great? I know the quarterback class is supposed to be great. Give me 20 seconds on just the skill position players in the 2027 class.
Well, I don't know if Ahmad Hardy's going up. I don't know if Ahmad Hardy's going to go declare this year. If he does, then he's going to go up high. But in 2027, he would be like an absolute stud first overall draft pick. So I think it's 50-50 whether he goes out right now or not. He's from Missouri. He's just probably the best running back in the country right now, if you ask me. So, I mean, that's your guy to keep an eye on. But, yeah, I don't know. Ryan Williams, he looked great last year at Alabama. This year he's been kind of hit and miss. Cam Coleman I'm not really sold on. Like, he's fine in the SEC. But, yeah, Jordan Tyson, though, Andre's absolutely right. Jordan Tyson is the dude. He is a stud wide receiver out of Arizona State. Like, I would argue he's right up there with Jeremiah Smith. You're also going to have Carnell Tate, but he might be eligible this year. He's out of Ohio State. There's a ton of great talent coming out. Like, quarterback-wise, I would have said John Mateer out of Oklahoma, but he's hurt right now, so we don't know what his future kind of looks like. Cade Klubnik out of Clemson, but he looks really bad this year. He was
he does.
Number 1 overall pick, I would say, coming in. The kid from what's the running back from Notre Dame? Jeremiah Love. There's another guy you got to keep an eye on. Like, there's tons of great talent coming up.
All right, Sam has another super chat for us. Thank you, buddy. The return offer is Pearsall, Hubbard, and a 2026 second rounder for Adunze and Shaheed. Do you like that more than a first rounder? Like, would you rather have a first rounder or Pearsall? I think I'd rather have Pearsall.
Pearsall, Hubbard, 2026 second for
because he's not giving up a first now.
2026 second. Damn. Wish it was a 2027 second. Man, that one's really close. 2026 second for Dunze and Shaheed. Pearsall, Hubbard. Are you a contender right now, Sam, or are you in a rebuild?
Yeah, he's a contender. He's got a good team.
Yeah, I'd do it. I'd pull the trigger. I would.
Okay, I'm gonna take
Bird in hand, right?
Here.
Third overall wide receiver in the league right now in terms of fantasy scoring. I'd pull the trigger if you're a contender.
Yeah. Let's see. So we have. Sorry, I'm lost in the chat here. Lost in the chat a little bit. I'll get back to it. Here we go. Pretty sure Judkins is going to be clear of the suspension this year. What do you say the odds are the suspension for Judkins? Probably 3 to 4 games, maybe 5 most. You think it's 50-50 or you think it's less?
I think it's lower now. We haven't heard anything, and the NFL tends to drag their feet. It wouldn't surprise me to see this get resolved in the offseason. And so I would roll the dice that he doesn't get suspended this year.
Yeah, I probably would too. Be growing stuff. What's going on, dude? We buying in on Woody Marks yet? I'll buy what you have. Yeah, we're definitely buying Woody Marks, baby. Like if maybe not quite a start right this second if you have better options, but he is a hold. And if the second the Mixon news drops, which it will drop, but he's not playing this year, or not for like till week 13 when they're going to be, fucking 5 and 8. Woody Marks is like at RB2, right?
Yeah, I mean, Chubb isn't going to maintain a strong hold on this backfield for very much longer. Woody Marks just surpassed him in terms of snap share, routes run, carries, all that kind of stuff. And so no team uses their running backs at 80% anymore. But if Woody Marks can get to a regular 65-35 share, I hesitate to call him a league winner because I do have concerns about that offense and that offensive line. But the dude has juice. And so, yes, I've been bought in. You and I had this conversation by text a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, do I keep Ollie Gordon or Woody Marks? And I ended up rejecting both offers. I've got both of them. Right now, I'd much rather have Woody Marks than Ollie Gordon.
Carlos comment, we're 10 minutes behind the chat, guys, so we will catch up. It's just hard that we want to give you actually like not just one-word answers because that's bullshit. If you really need a question answered, again, donate to my channel. Give me some money, baby. It's funny. Carlos said, is Woody Marks over Chase Brown a good move going forward? I'm starting Hampton and Genty. I wouldn't go that far. I'm still going to give Chase Brown a little bit of a leash. Maybe I'm in the minority here, but going forward, possibly, but not this week, not next week, not week 5, not week 6. Story?
I agree. If you look back at the game log from tonight, only 10 carries for Chase Brown, but he had 40 yards. No other running back other than Samajit Pirine, who only had 1 carry, had a carry. So it is Chase Brown. He's still 3 for 31 in the passing game. So was it a blow-up game? No, but it's definitely predictable, and you're going to get – things will only get better. They just played the two probably certainly the toughest defense and probably – one of the better defenses in the NFC in week 3.
Skip Payless. Love this guy. Love the picture too. Genty, Dobbins, London for Brees and Bijan. Genty, Dobbins, London for Brees. I don't know, man. Genty and London. You're getting Bijan. Brees is just such an X factor, bro. Like, I think I hold those 3. If it was a little bit better player than Brees Hall.
Yeah, I agree. I think we saw the ascension of Ashton Genty. And I don't know. Did you see the controversy about his running style?
What'd they say?
Well, so Genty, when he was at Boise State, he would start in the backfield in an upright stance and not like the athletic ready stance, with your knees bent, hands on your So for the first 3 games, Chip Kelly was having him stand in like a athletic ready stance, and so this past week he went back to his complete upright stance. I'm not saying, correlation doesn't equal causation, but when A and B equals C sometimes.
Do you know who? How Pete Carroll has his 2 sons on the coaching staff, and the offensive line coach is his son.
I knew his offensive line coach was a son. I didn't know he had a second son on the coaching staff. See, this is what I'm talking about. What are you doing? Nepotism. Nepotism.
Maybe he's a good coach. I've never heard of these guys. So
it runs rampant in the NFL. You want to know why
bad
teams stay bad? It's because they do stupid shit like this, where a coach promotes his sons to the offensive line.
That was probably in Pete Carroll's contract, bro. That was the only way they can get him. He's like, I'm bringing my kids with me.
What the hell do we need dinosaur Pete Carroll in the league for anymore anyway?
Yeah, he looks young. So he said if it goes through, I'll have Hurts, Bijan, Hampton, Jefferson, Adunze, Bowers, Knicks with neighbors on IR. My flex option this year being Mooney, Shaheed, Charbonnet. Yeah, bro, that's a fucking banger team. The draft pick you're giving up is going to be like a late second, so that's almost a third rounder, right? Think of it that way. Kind of think about how it's similar to how the Cowboys got 2 firsts from the Packers, and they're going to be like pick 26 and pick 28. Like that's why your second rounder is actually a third rounder, opposed to the other way around. So I mean, dude, I love that team. Hurts, Bijan, Hampton. You have 2 RB1s. Jefferson, Adunze, Bowers. You have a great, eventually an elite tight end. Knicks is a backup. Hell yeah, bro. You have a young quarterback. You have neighbors for next year.
A third wide receiver, so that team should steamroll the league.
Yeah, I'm in on that one, bro. Let's see. Andrew, I sent Bijan, DK, DJ Moore for Jamar Chase, James Cook, Keon Coleman. He sent Bijan, DK, DJ Moore. Ooh, that's too much. He lost Tyreek.
Jamar Chase, James Cook, Keon Coleman, Bijan, DK, DJ Moore.
Too much. It's too much because you sent Bijan. I mean, DK's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously Bijan is a big step up over James Cook, but Jamar Chase is probably a step up over DK Metcalf. Keon Coleman,
but you're still giving up DJ Moore.
They're both washes.
It's close.
DJ Moore?
It's close. Just give me the Bijan thing. Should I waive T. Higgins for Woody Marks? Absolutely not. T. Higgins actually looked good in this game. It's still T. Higgins. He's still a wide receiver 3, but I guess you might be getting a running back 2 is his thought.
Yeah, I have to assume with where you drafted T. Higgins, there's somebody else on your bench that you can drop. I don't know that now would be a good time to drop T. Higgins.
Mark, if you want to just not start a kicker, he said his players are locked in ESPN. You can do it at 4-0. If you really want to win and be 5-0, which pretty much guarantees you a playoff spot, drop Coleman. I mean, you'll find someone else, or maybe he'll be available next week.
Yeah, the chances that Coleman becomes a big blow-up guy this year are pretty low based on that Bills offense, which is a bummer because I think you and I both had big hopes for Keon Coleman. But like the Packers, they are prepared to – Josh Allen is going to put the ball to the guy who's open, and that might mean Keon Coleman one week. It might mean Khalil Shakir like it was this past week. It might mean – what's his name? The slowest man on earth. Dalton Kincaid, right? Like, you never know.
Judkins over Mason, 100%. Who do you want rest of the year right now, Mason or Judkins?
Judkins.
Really? See, I have no faith in Aaron Jones. I have no faith in Aaron Jones.
I think Aaron Jones' stock kind of went up a little bit with his performance by Jordan Mason. He looked a little pedestrian.
Jordan Mason played great. No, he did not.
Let's
get the hell out of here.
Let's look at the
numbers. You were fucking hungover. You were at a wedding. You were tired. It was 8:30 in the morning.
It was.
Ladd is cooked where you drafted him, but Ladd'll be fine. Like fine as in like he'll still be a wide receiver 2-ish, I think.
So Mason, 16 for 57, 3.6 yards a carry, 3 for 15. So he's a compiler, right? Like
you're box score hunting, bros. Don't box score hunt on this show. We don't do that.
I'm just saying. I'm telling you, I'm the Judkins is going to be the big thing. That team is going to funnel that offense through him. And at some point, Aaron Jones is coming back.
Okay. Don Bond says, do you think Cheetah will ever be the same? He might not ever play again. He's definitely not playing for the Dolphins again. And he was already talking retirement before this. So what do you think, Story?
His career's over. That I think you saw it on his face when he was being carted off. I think that was the face of a man.
That was it. That was it. And he knows that's his career in Miami. So the fans, he's kind of probably paying homage to the fans. Brian says, I have Ladd and Brian Thomas. What should I do? I'm making the playoffs. Just don't want them. They can't do anything because you just got to wait. Wait for the first one to pop off. I love the confidence.
Making the playoffs, I just don't want them.
You wait for one of them to pop off and trade them if that's what you want to do. Right now, you shouldn't trade them because you're not going to get shit.
Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr., he's going to come back to a reasonable – he will not be where you drafted him at, but at some point, things should stabilize there in Jacksonville, although that team looks like they're very dysfunctional. Trevor Lawrence looks bad. Like, I think
he's bad. Yeah,
I have to revert back to my 2023 take on Trevor Lawrence instead of my Liam Cohen as the quarterback whisperer.
No, your entire take since he came into the league. Still high on Olave over Johnston. Do we still want Olave or Johnston rest of the season right now? Full PPR from J-Bob.
God. Okay, that one's really tough to reconcile because I've loved Chris Olave, but if this Johnson breakout is real, then give me the team that's throwing the ball 40 times a game. I'll go Quentin Johnston.
Okay. Super chat from Andrew. Thank you, buddy. Shit, this is not the one right here. James Cook, Jamar Chase, Ladd for Bijan, DK, and Olave.
James Cook,
Jamar, and Ladd.
Bijan.
I want Bijan. I want the Bijan side.
Yeah, I'll take 100%. The Bijan. I'll take the Bijan side.
It's not even close.
Getting out from both Jamar Chase and Ladd. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's close, but like I definitely want the second. I like DK, man. DK looks you said they're using him in the slot and shit, dude. Like
I saw they used him in like the first quarter, and then they kind of forgot he was even on the team. So
yeah, but he's I like the usage is nice. Like the way that the deployment, I guess I should say, is nice. Because DK has always just been a sacrificial X receiver, which he can't win against zone. So it's if they play zone, he's playing X, it's bad. Now there's ways, and like the beauty is, you're going to get those. Remember the old school Devontae Adams targets where he's out wide and it's not press, and he just throws it to DK or throws it to Adams and you get 8 yards. Like that happens twice a game. Like those are just free fantasy points. I love those.
Yeah.
McConkey's not getting those.
No, he's not.
Another super chat. Thank you, Nick. Neighbors went down, and my RBs are Cook, Genty, Scatabo, Hubbard, and Justice Hill. Should I trade Flowers and Scatabo for Amon-Ra? I think so, bro. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I would do that.
I mean, you're getting the safest player in fantasy. Like, and he's safer than he.
See if he'll take Hubbard and Flowers for Amon-Ra. I doubt it, but you start low. See if you can get that deal done. Because I'd rather have Scatabo rest of the season than Chuba Hubbard, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I just love about same person. Puka's probably ahead of him, but like he's safer, right? Like I'd say Amon-Ra is safer than Puka just because he's less likely to get hurt. He plays 2 inches. Puka does miss 3s. Like Amon-Ra just never misses games.
Yeah,
Nick says it's a best ball league. I didn't know you can make trades in best ball.
I didn't know that either.
That doesn't change it for you, right? The James Cook, Jamar Chase, Ladd for Bijan. That doesn't change it for me at all.
Yeah.
Now, I think I know why that trade's being made, because the guy that's trading Bijan and DK probably is losing, like has a 1-3 record, and Bijan and DK both have week 5 buys. That's probably why you're getting that fucking value, bro.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
So you got to be prepared to take a loss this week then.
It's fine. It's about the end game, right? Even in the best ball, it's about the end game.
Yeah, I mean, if you already started 4-0 or 3-1, you're in a really good position.
Yeah. Where are we at, though? If this guy's calling Jordan Mason geriatric, he hasn't seen Brock Bowers play. I don't know if someone Brock Bowers looks geriatric, but
he's hurt. Brock Bowers is a stud when he's healthy, and Gino isn't throwing 3 picks a game. And I didn't say
Zero has a.
I said he looked pedestrian.
No, someone else might have. Yeah.
Like
he doesn't. But we can argue on that one another day.
Yeah,
I have a college question
I don't
for
think
you.
He's over the hill at all. I'm just saying he looks pedestrian, or at least he looked pedestrian on Sunday, and a lot of it has to do with that offensive line. Don't get me wrong. I think Jordan Mason's a very good running back, but he's not a world beater.
I got a college question for you, Story. You're gonna like this one. Thoughts on Nick Harbor being a sleeper rookie next year? If he goes to a good situation, he can be very good. 6'5", legit track speed. Dante Thornton on crack. Ooh, holy shit. That's awesome. What do you think on Nick Harbor?
So I don't know much about him. He's the kid from Michigan State, right?
Don't ask me. I'm not the college guy.
Okay. I think he's the guy from Michigan State. If he's the guy that I'm thinking of. No, he's not Michigan State. No, he's in the SEC. He's South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know much about him. I don't know. I'm going to put him on my radar, but all I know is he's not on any of my college fantasy teams.
He's from South Carolina.
Yeah. Okay. So he's South Carolina. Yeah. I don't know much about him. I'll be happy to look into him, but I haven't really come across him yet in college.
Javonte and Worthy for Bijan is a smash, right? Smash.
Javonte and Worthy for Bijan. Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Breezy, we like Waddle. We said he was like wide receiver 32 before the injury, like weekly rank. Now he's like mid-20s. and play the matchups. Cheerio says, who should I start? AJ Brown, Marv, JMO, or Diggs? I think it's still AJ Brown. It's gross, but
it's
gross, right?
Yeah, it's AJ Brown.
Yeah. What's up, Poker Guts? I haven't seen you around. How you doing? How are your guts? Hopefully they're good. Do I drop Tootin for Woody Marks? Yeah, that's a drop. Hopefully you have someone lower to drop because I still like Tootin, but like if you have the choice, I want Woody over Tootin.
Yeah, I as long as ETN kind of dominates there, Woody has the chance to overtake that backfield. I don't think Tootin does.
Shicey says, what do you think about the games tonight? It was easy money if you pick both favorites. Definitely the Broncos were easy money. The Jets got hosed by a bunch of penalties. Like they didn't get, they called for a bunch of penalties. They didn't call anything in the Dolphins. That game should have been closer. Not to mention the Braylon Allen fumble on the 1 yard line. And also they fumbled on a kick return. That was like, come on. Like it should have been closer than it actually was only a 6-point game, but I feel like the Jets could and should have won that game. Do you agree, Story?
I ended up watching more of the Denver game, so it's tough for me to say, but it kind of looked like from what I've seen, the Jets looked very mediocre in the first half.
They did
turn it around. So I don't know. I didn't see all the penalties you're talking about. I did go back and watch the offensive pass interference call on Garrett Wilson, which was complete garbage.
Garbage.
Just looking back at Nick Harbor this year, fine, 220 yards through 5 games, not very good. 24. He went 22 for 315, 195 and 23. I mean, I don't know much about him. He hasn't popped on my radar yet. I'll be happy to go back and look at the tape, but it doesn't look like from a production standpoint or from a college dominance standpoint that he's all that. I mean, maybe this is another Matthew Golden, right? Where the guy
sounds like Dante Thornton. Dante Thornton had nothing in production. Yeah, Hudson says he was offered Quentin Johnson and Woody Marks for Jamar Chase, full PPR. What would you think? You want Quentin Johnson and Woody Marks for Jamar Chase? I think that's too low.
You think that
I want Jamar Chase?
Oh yeah, I wasn't quite when you said it's too low. I wasn't sure what you're getting at. Yeah, I would take the Jamar Chase side of that.
I know it seems gross, but it's just a couple weeks. I mean, the guy is still like the best player ever. So, bad situation, but Zay says thoughts on opinions on a team. Kyron Williams, K9. So it's Caleb Williams, K9, Kyron, CD, DK, Olave, Bowers, Darnold, Pollard, Dickers, Gainwell, Jennings, 2 and 2. Seattle D. Hold on to Seattle D, baby. I like that team. The running backs are a little bit questionable, I suppose. But yeah, you got Corum. I like Corum. I like the Corum stash too. Yeah, Manor, good stash.
Corum's a good stash. Maybe Ray Davis is out there. You could probably drop Geno, pick somebody up off the wire. I don't know why you would need two quarterbacks.
Andre says, fellas, why does Kmet look better than Loveland? I'm going to give me a little quick.
He's a very good receiving tight end. He was very good at Notre Dame, and he's been with the Bears.
And he can block.
Why is he?
He can also commit a bunch of penalties. But let's not talk about that.
That's always been his problem, though, dating back to his rookie year. He's always had that problem. But he knows, he's with the organization. They paid him. They know what they're doing. And this Loveland pick just felt like a luxury pick. Why would you pick Colston Loveland? I don't know, 10 or 12 overall, whatever it was. When you got so many holes on defense, so many holes on the offensive line, it was a stupid luxury pick. And I'll never understand. Could have had Tyler Warren, the guy who actually had a 1,000-yard season, 1,400 all-purpose yards, can threw for a touchdown in college versus Colston Loveland, who was hurt in college multiple years and never crested 1,000 yards. I don't know. Say what you will about Ben Johnson, but no coach is infallible. Plus, his shtick is starting to wear a little thin on me. That the way he popped off at that reporter, being kind of a dick, if you ask me.
If it was a male reporter, be a dick. Don't be a dick to a woman, bro. Don't be dicks to women. Give them your dick, but don't be a dick. And don't do it if you don't force your dick on them, right?
Put that on a t-shirt. No Bill Cosby. Give them your dick, but don't be a dick.
Hey man, that should be like a fucking Professional Fanatics t-shirt. That's the back. All right, noted. Cheerio says start 2 next week. AJ Brown, JMO, Diggs, and Marv. It's AJ and Marv for me.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
Maybe Diggs because he did look good.
Let's give it a week. Let's see if he's back and this wasn't just a circumstance thing, and that the Patriots can keep it going. But it did. I texted you this yesterday. It looked like this was his coming out party. So, but let's get if I have Diggs, I'm not putting him in my lineup just yet.
Breezy says, "What do you guys think of Waddle?" Again, we've talked about this a few times. I wouldn't trade for him on assumed production increase, but if you have him, it's definitely going to be a boom. It's going to be an increase, but I wouldn't trade assuming production. Would you agree, Story?
I agree, because that offense probably going to take a step back in general too. So what he's going to be targeted more, he's going to have more production, but he's that offense, there might not be as many scoring chances. So I kind of worry about the upside there.
We got 50 and 50 in the chat. What's going on, 50? Good to see you. Scott says, had Tyreek, now need to pick up a wide receiver. Would you go Olave, Godwin, or stash Rice? It's Rice for sure. And Godwin looks awful. I don't know if you saw the game Story. I went into this last night for a while. Godwin looks like, now that's a geriatric dude. He could not jump. He looks like John Elway with the helicopter play. He just can't move. And I know it was his first week back, but it looks terrible.
I mean, I was at the was in the lounge at the airport, and I was watching it, and all I saw was Emeka Egbuka and Bucky Irving. I didn't see any Chris Godwin, but he still had 10 targets, right?
Yeah, but 3 catches. I mean, but it's not about the volume, because that will go away when Mike Evans comes back. And you also have Jalen McMillan coming back eventually. So it's when he finally gets rounded into form, now there's more competition. It just doesn't look good. Joe says, is Olave a buy low and is Stephon Diggs a buy low? I think Olave is the buy low because he finally got in the end zone, didn't have the targets, but he's averaging still 10 targets a game. And he looks good, right? And it's just a concussion issue, but it's either going to happen or it's not. It's not a lingering issue like a hammy. So I think Olave is a buy low, especially with Tyler Shuck. I think Tyler Shuck's an upgrade from Spencer Rattler, personally.
Yes. I mean, I hate to say it because I don't think Tyler Shuck's any good at all, but it's a buy low. I just wouldn't buy. I wouldn't buy him expecting the Olave that we got in the first 5 games of last year.
People are saying Terry McLaurin's a buy low. Is that true? No. He can't buy any lower than that. He's hurt right now. You're not touching him?
I think he's radioactive. That core muscle injury, we don't know. We thought it was a hamstring, but it turns out to be a core muscle. They're saying he doesn't need. The good news is he doesn't require surgery. Okay, well, what does that mean exactly? I don't really want any part of it. I think you might be trading for a guy who's going to be on IR in a week.
Connor made this trade here. He has Puka, Ladd, Adams. Wasn't super deep at tight end, so he traded Ladd and JCM for Hockenson and Fields. He said but Hawkinson's terrible. So that's the problem with that trade. Hawkinson sucks.
Dude, I'm dropping Hockenson.
Yeah. I got him in the league, the problem. I
have no problem letting him go. We got lucky with a touchdown last week. This week he looks just as bad. He looks worse than Brock Bowers.
Yeah, he literally looks like Mark Andrews looked the first 4 weeks last year. So we'll see if he could get back to what he was, but he was never a touchdown guy. So now, and Addison coming back just hurts, bro. It hurts him.
Yeah.
I have to take a tinkle, so I'm going to give this question to you, Story. And if you have to take off whenever when I get back. Story and Rob, if you can go back in time, who would you pick for the Bears instead of Loveland? Because there's a lot of any answer is right.
We kind of talked about Tyler Warren. That would be nice to see. But again, it's a luxury pick. We kind of talked about that. I can't remember if the Bears were 10 or 12 overall. Either way, the Colts were 4 picks behind them with Warren. But there was plenty of great opportunities. There was the kid out of Alabama, the offensive guard, Tyler Booker. He would have been a good pick. I think he went to the Cowboys 13, 14, something like that. Another guard, Gray Zabel, right? He's the Seahawks. Their offensive line needed it, and they got him there. You could have taken who's that kid out of Ohio State? What's his name? Donovan Jackson went to the Vikings. There's another one. All right, so those are 3 guards right off the bat. You could. I think the biggest one, the big question of why the Bears didn't take him would be Mykel Williams out of Georgia. Went to the 49ers. He's been very, very good. And then the defensive tackle, out of Mississippi, Walter Nolan. He went to the Cardinals, and the Cardinals defense is much improved because of it. So there's a lot of opportunities that the Bears could have had to draft, as opposed to I named off a bunch of guards, like offensive linemen and defensive linemen. But if they want to go with a cornerback, Jahad Barron out of Texas would have been a good option. He went to the Broncos. I don't think there's any question that he's been performing well there. So I think that the Bears needed to move away from skill position players, and the fact that they took Luther Burden in the second round was another embarrassment, and shore up the parts that they needed to.
I think the answer was just Tyler Warren, because it's the same position, and he actually can play fullback and
somebody in the chat remind me.
He can play offensive line, he can do everything. He can block, he can catch. He's awesome.
He can run the ball. But somebody in the chat remind me: were the Bears? Did they have the 10th pick or the 12th pick? Because I can't remember.
10th,
I know
10th pick. 10th pick.
So
Warren went 11th or 12th.
No, Warren went. They went 4 picks apart, so I think they were the 14th.
14th, even worse. Jesus fuck.
Yeah,
gross. And the point is, if you wanted to take Loveland, just trade down and take him at 17. And if he's not available, then whatever. Then because no one knew, no one knows. It's like the quote from Moneyball, we don't have a crystal ball. So it was the Mitch Trubisky thing. Okay, if you wanted him, if he was there, take him. Don't trade up to get a guy unless it's like a can't miss quarterback. And as we know with Trevor Lawrence, that was a can't miss player, right? How's that looking out? No one fucking knows.
I've been saying that since Clemson, but that's neither here nor there. Vontae Matt, no matter what.
Justin says Yoshi Bosch and Fields were locks. Thank you, bro. The Fields one was a lock. I did go 2-0.
I saw the Fields one.
I'm 7-10 now.
I didn't catch the Yoshi Bosch one. Was that in the Discord?
11.5. Yeah, no, it was on YouTube as well. They were both on there. You had to watch the whole 20 seconds. You couldn't tune in for 20 seconds story?
I tuned in for the first 12 seconds. I'm like, this is too long. I'm out of here.
You missed out on the bet. No, and Yoshi was a lock because it was 11.5, but he ended up with just one catch for 22 yards.
I got
he plays 82% of the snaps.
I didn't see the Yoshi one though.
Oh man, it's all right, dude. I bet a rough stretch because I started off great. I'm still 17-10, which is fine at even odds bets, but it could have been a lot better. I bet some rough losses.
I didn't make a bet for 3 days. I was in Pennsylvania.
Jason says he'll cost me $570 in winnings for scoring a touchdown, but still won $440. He didn't score a touchdown. He's saying on a $20 bet. Bo Nix, man, he still misses a lot of throws, but he's a young player and he misses a lot of throws.
It feels like the Denver offense is kind of settling in. So have you softened on your hate for the Denver offense and Bo Nix yet, or are you still adamant that they're one of the worst in the league?
I'm still adamant of my belief that Bo Nix should never have been drafted at quarterback 8, and that's still fact. He's in that conversation of top 12 guys. But I mean, Dak's looking good too. Fields still when he plays is killing it. So it's I would rather have just waited 4 rounds and get 90% of the production from any of those other dudes. Justin Herbert, fair. Jordan Love.
Well, I mean, I think we have to kind of question Herbert's racking up the stats, but is he a top 12 quarterback fantasy wise?
Not with the tackles out. That's a problem. Jason also said Aubrey cost me $600 last night. Needed 1.5 field goals for a 6-legger. And in that game script too, granted, because they kept on going for it, but with you tell me the score at 80 points combined and Aubrey has 1 field goal.
They had
one. Get the fuck out of here.
So they kicked a field goal in overtime and they didn't kick a field goal the rest of the game?
No.
I know they had a 2-point conversion at one point. Huh. Man, that game was scary. If you had Jacobs, Javonte, Ferguson, Dak, Jordan Love, Dobbs, you were happy. That was one of those classic, we get them once every few months kind of shootout games that everybody eats, unless you're on the other side and you're like, God, can this game end already?
Yeah, for me, I didn't place a bet. I always do a primetime bet. All 3 of them hit. I was going to go Pickens. I was going to go for yards. I was going to go Pickens. I was going to go fucking Josh Jacobs, and I was going to go Tucker Kraft. Didn't bet him. Didn't even do a parlay. I always do the parlay boost. I would have won probably the parlay boost with who I was thinking, and I would have won any of my 3 options for bets. But I went 2-0 tonight, so it evened out, I suppose. Mark says some Tyler Warren conversation. Tyler Warren is Taysom Hill 2.0. Now, Nick says, don't disrespect Tyler Warren like that. I get where he's coming from because he's like a football player, as Lovie Smith says. But the difference is Tyler Warren actually is a good tight end in terms of running routes. Taysom Hill was okay. So he is Taysom Hill with all the other things, but he also has mini Gronkowski level vibes as a fucking receiver.
So people will throw this term around, but gadget player. Taysom Hill is a true gadget player.
Yeah,
the dude would.
Tyler Warren's not.
Yeah, I mean RPOs, option plays, running, passing, catching. That's fine, and it was extremely limited. Tyler Warren is, an 80% snap share player, a very good tight end, a good blocking tight end, a great receiver, a great after the catch kind of guy. Like he's a. I'm not saying he's Gronk or anything like that, but he is a true tight end, and I think he's going to be that way for many, many years in the league. They're not going to use him on the goal line every single week. I was not expecting that early in his career. I thought that would have come out like a trick play, but it is what it is.
What Tyler Warren is he's a real tight end that you can use in the gadget type plays, where Taysom Hill is just like a really good gadget player that you can use as a tight end, possibly as a quarterback and as a running back and a fullback. That's, I think, the difference. Like he's a real NFL player. Nothing against Taysom Hill because he's fun for fantasy, and Sean Payton fucking loves him. I think they might trade for him, right? Hey, think about this: Evan Ingram struggling right now. Do you think the Broncos trade for Taysom Hill?
Well, Taysom Hill isn't
back.
Well, probably not till like week 12.
Dude, they activated him. Like he has I think.
Did they open his window?
Or maybe not. Maybe they didn't, but it seems like it's gonna be earlier than week 12. I thought he wasn't playing at all this year.
You see that the Titans opened up Tajay Spears' window?
Yeah, so it looks like 2 weeks though, probably. T May says, due to my league lost Neighbors and Hill. Jesus, that's a rough week. Trying to give Brian Thomas Jr., Jennings, and Mooney for Jacobs. Yeah, I would do that. Because Jennings and Mooney. I mean, Jennings is fine, I guess. I guess maybe wait a sec to see what they say about Pearsall. Because if Pearsall goes in the IR, then Jennings is worth more. If Pearsall is playing this week or just misses 1 week, then maybe not.
Let's give it a couple of days. Let's see what happens with this Pearsall injury.
Elsie says, I miss you. My fingers still stank from last night. I mean, that's supposed to be my fingers, right? But, I have been known to like a finger in the ass. So we'll see about that one. Tom Bond says, could have got Hampton. Yeah, Hampton instead. I don't like taking a running back at 10, though. Brian 7 says, question. I did this trade 14 team PPR, Evans, Henderson, and Hawk for Rice, Mason, and Kincaid. You rocked his world with that trade, bro. Yeah, I give it 2 thumbs up.
No question. That's an easy win for you. Good job, Brian 7.
Sub-Zero, I sent you my email. Just shoot me an email because the link won't work on here. You won't be able to copy and paste it. So it's CubsFan311, CUBSFAN311 at Yahoo. So, send me an email. I'll get you in there. 40. Yeah, Jason says 40 points, 1 field goal, bro. That's amazing. Actually, not for you, but it's just unreal. Poker Guts, Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson looking good unstacked next week versus Dallas. It's a good matchup for them. Like Justin Fields should go fucking run wild, right?
Oh my God. I can't wait. Garrett Wilson should eat, Justin Fields should eat, Breece Hall should eat with no Braylon Allen. Like it should be. I don't want to go so far as to say like that's a you're starting them over guys like trying to think who like those mid-tier quarterback ones are. But
Hunter Henry or Warren, that's just an easy Warren. He must have just joined here after our conversation.
Yeah.
Hunter Henry is just, he actually did catch a touchdown this week, but it was fluky. He's fine. He's in the tight end 1 conversation for sure.
Hunter Henry will catch 7 touchdowns a year, but you never know when they're going to come. And there's plenty of games where he doesn't do much else otherwise.
Hound House, I have Blake Corum, Ollie Gordon, and Trey Tucker. Who should I sign and drop? And would you say Wandale over Trey Tucker? 100% Wandale over Trey Tucker. I told everyone not to pick up Wandale after week 2. Now it's different because you have a missing Malik Neighbors and Trey Tucker. I also told everyone not to pick up Trey Tucker. He had 2 for 7, which is what Trey Tucker does.
But don't drop Blake Corum at all.
No, drop the receiver.
Yeah. Yes,
you dropped Trey Tucker. You should have never picked up Trey Tucker. I know you're new to the channel. Subscribe to the channel and you will get that info. I'm not always right, but when I am, I'm very right. It's like a Dos Equis ad. Yeah. Brock says, do I trade Mason for Warren if I have Juwan Johnson, Genty, Hampton, Cook, and Judkins? Man, I don't know. Like Warren's, you have Genty, Hampton, and Cook. Yeah, I think you do that.
Yeah,
you could.
Like, when is what? I just want to assume he's talking about Tyler Warren and not Jalen Warren, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's. It's got to be Tyler Warren with that build. I think what I would say is try to do a 2-for-2. Trade your worst bench player for one of their high upside bench players, because the guy that's getting Mason, if he had, he probably has a good tight end like Kraft or something. He can afford to give up a bench piece because he needs Tyler Warren. And Mason is probably he's still like a borderline RB1 for the near future, regardless of what Story says. You're giving running back is just like hard to find right now. So I would try to get a Blake Corum or a Algier or something to just stash on your bench instead of
he's
the
got
1-for-1.
2 locked and loaded RB1s in Genty and Cook. He's got a solid RB2 in Hampton, and Judkins is on the rise. Mason's never going to crack that lineup. You might as well go Mason for Warren and then drop Juwan Johnson and go pick up Woody Marks as a bench stash.
Bongi says, who's more worth it on IR, Coker or Spears?
Spears.
Dude, Coker, because of the position.
It's the position.
I will say, though,
Pollard is just a guy. Like, he's not absolutely dominating there. If he was crushing it, it'd be one thing, but they need something in that offense, and Pollard's not getting, like, he's getting plenty of work, but Spears is going to come in.
He's getting the most work in the league right now, 92%.
Yeah, but Spears is going to come right in and take some of that work away. So
right. My only thing about Coker though is Renfro is dust, and you got nothing else. You got nothing from the tight end position. The running backs aren't looking great. So like Coker seems to be like he's going to be what Adam Thielen was. So that's my only thing about Coker. Like Spears is more high upside. Coker is more playable. And I love Tajay Spears, bro. It depends on what you need, I guess we'd say, right? Would you just say it depends what you need? If you need a wide receiver for bye weeks coming up, like it's probably Coker.
But when is Coker coming off the IR? It's not going to be.
Yeah, we don't know. Good call. Yeah. Good call.
Like Spears, we know at the very least they open his window. So he's either coming back or he's going on the IR for the rest of the year. Coker, like they could drag this out. I don't know what his injury was offhand, but I think Spears is the play because I don't know if anybody's going to pick up Coker in the meantime.
Brock says just traded QJ and Waddle for Hampton in a 40+ yard TD league as like a bonus. I don't hate it. Waddle's definitely stock up, and QJ's been killing it. But Hampton is a fucking top 14, top 12 running back.
Locked and loaded RB2. There's, it's a good trade for him. It's a very good trade for him. Like I don't really care about those bonuses because they're so infrequent.
Mason or Dobbins rest of the season. You hate Mason. It's still Mason, right?
Yeah. Like I'd love for Dobbins to keep this up. I just don't see this happening.
Sub-Zero, I did have the Discord in the description for a long time, and then I just got a little lazy and I stopped doing it. So sorry. I've been putting a lot of time here in the last couple of days. Dude, Sunday whooped me, bro. And I woke up at 7:30. Luckily, I did early because of the Warren situation, which a lot of people kept him in his lineup. In my $500 league, the guy started Warren, Jalen Warren, and I won by 2 points.
You started against him?
Yeah, and it's a $500 league in Fantrax, and I'm 4-0 now. I'm 4-0 now, baby. I won last week by 1 point. I won this week by 2 points, and he had Jalen Warren. So, like, I'm in the playoffs, bro, and I lost CeeDee Lamb, so it's important for me to win this game.
I actually had
Sub-Zero. Sorry about that.
I was playing against a guy who had Warren in my home league, and I completely forgot there was a game. I didn't think it was Jack. I have Warren in one league. He was already on my bench anyway. But I woke up. I'm like, oh, did he not? No, he took him out. But in this league, we made a bet where the loser has to change their fantasy profile pick to something of the winner's choice for the rest of the season, and I crushed him by like 30 points this week.
What are you going to have for the picture?
I don't know. Put some ideas in the chat, folks. Like, let me know what you think. I'm open to making this as embarrassing as possible.
I have a really good one for you. I want to find my. God damn it! Can I find this? I have too many videos on here, so I'm going to skip the story time with Rob thing and just tell you this. In the one you're in, where it's at, Nick's league. I have a good history in that league, but I had a league where my whole team got like killed 1 year. And I was like 1-6, dude. Maybe I was like 0-5. It was like pretty early in the year, and I was just toast. So I changed my name to sack of shit poop, and I found a picture of like a butthole with like poop in it, and so I put that as my picture. And Yahoo let me do it. They let you do a bunch of shit on Yahoo, and so everyone that had to play me got to see this like dirty ass butthole, dude. It was amazing. So it's like the punishment for me having a bad year is you having to look at a dirty ass butthole when you look at my matchup. Fuck you, because I wasn't looking at my matchup.
I was thinking like a dog's butthole, but this is probably
no, and it was green shit too. It was fucking awesome, bro. You know me pretty well by now. You're probably not surprised.
I'm not surprised. I had a good week in fantasy. I won every one of my NFL matchups, and I only lost one of my college matchups. So it was a good week all around.
I went 13 and 12. Man, I am like covering around 500. I have a lot of really good teams, but I have some like 1-3s and a couple 0-4s. My dude Erica, again, I drafted all our teams, same format I play on Fantrax mostly. She is like 72% this year. Dude, she went 10-1 last week, and she went 9-2 this week.
Damn.
Like, and she was always saying,
you're
experimenting with my teams. Kinda. We go through the lineups together. I drafted the teams, but like she's like during the draft, one of them, like the one she's 4-0 and she walked out on, she's like, because I took Roma Dunze. She's like, I fucking hate the Bears, all this shit. She was like, why are your teams so much better than mine? Why can't I have an elite quarterback? And like now look what happens. Like her teams are way better than mine.
Fucking bullshit. That's fantasy football.
I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her, but my leagues are all worth a lot more money, I guess.
It should even out, I would think. But this is the best start I've had in a long time. Pretty happy about it. All right, that's it for me.
Here's the thing is, she has Rashee Rice in like 5 leagues. So like we assumed it was going to be a slow start, and now she's killing it with Rashee Rice in all those leagues. Like, thank you, Story. I'm going to finish these questions up, and then I am going to probably be out too.
I just want to highlight Landon Murphy said, Photoshop your face onto a father bottle, feeding a baby his face over the baby's. I think that's great. So,
or just the butthole pick.
Yeah, one or the other. Send me that butthole pick. It'll get flagged.
I will. It'll be mine.
Internet service provider. All right. Great to see everybody as always. We'll be back this week. We'll talk some more stuff. Good luck.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Thanks, Story. Cheers, man. Bongo says, is it worth picking up Shedeur Sanders if the Browns get tired of Flacco? No, because even if he starts, you don't want anything to do with him. Old School says he's just not going to be good for fantasy. He's bad in real life. Old School says, what do we do if we have Higgins? You hold tight. Can't do anything. Leafy's in here. If he has a big week, though, Old School, maybe trade him, but I wouldn't trade him now. Leafy, what's going on? Brian says Emmanuel Wilson or Miles Sanders. Oh, Miles Sanders is hurt right now, so it's Emmanuel Wilson for sure. Like, for sure, because Jacobs, they have a week 5 bye, so I still want Emmanuel Wilson. I got you, Sub-Zero. There's one guy in my work league that sends about 100 lopsided trade requests a season. I mean, it's worth it to spam, but at some point, like, it's annoying as hell. So, like, if you're 0 for 100, that's like, you know, it's like if you hit on a girl, like if you hit on enough girls, you will get laid. There's a point, though, where it's just like an embarrassment in front of your friends. So, like, make sure you're at least 5% on hitting on girls and trades. Then it's fine. If Coker's coming back in 1 week, then it's Coker for me, man. I'm pretty high on Coker. I like him with Xavier Legette being hurt and just being bad. And if Ted McMillan's either one Ted McMillan injury away from Jalen Coker being like a must start. So happy I got to move on from Evans. Yeah, Evans is a little washy-wash. What are some waiver wire wide receivers? Check if Io Manor's available, bro. Again, Coker, we just talked about him. Tomorrow we're doing the waiver wire show, so I'll get into all that tomorrow, Smitty. Lions defense a good play this week? Yeah, 100% Lions defense is a good play. They have the Bengals, so yeah, it's a good play. Gotta love those last-minute live bets, Leafy. Love those. Yeah, Jason, was it 30 games, they said? 30 games without a 100-yard rusher, all under Sean Payton's watch? Wild. Is Jacoby Myers worth trading if Geno is just horrible? Yeah, he is, because his stock is still like pretty solid. I mean, he's still getting the target, so I probably would maybe wait one more week if you think he could pop off. Zay says, what do you think about Pollard and CD for Jonathan Taylor and Rashee Rice? It's all good, dude. Pollard and CD for Jonathan Taylor. I want Jonathan Taylor and Rashee Rice by a mile. Yeah, that's close, man. Kendra Miller looked great. That touchdown Kendra Miller had last week, I was like half looking at it, half looking at my phone, and I was like, oh, that's a great play from Alvin Kamara. And if you're getting compared to Alvin Kamara, I mean, he looks good, I guess is my point. So I think that's depending on what you want. I think Ollie Gordon still has more upside because as bad as the Dolphins offense is, it's not as bad as the Saints offense. So I'd rather have the starting running back in Miami. Yeah, it's rough, but you know what? Tyreek was a roller coaster this year anyway. He actually looked really good in this game. Like that was going to be his best fantasy game like all year. So that kind of sucks. Frank says, what's up with Bucky? He got 1 million carries and a really hot, it was like 100 degrees there, and he got multiple injuries. They're not disclosing the injury, which is a little bit rough. I think Sean Tucker, obviously Rachaad White is the pickup, but he might be owned. If he's owned, I think that Sean Tucker is a sneaky play because Sean Tucker is really good and he's going to get the early down work. Rachaad White's role doesn't change as much. Sorry about that, team money. I had a couple rough losses. The close wins definitely feel better than the close losses. Brian, Mason's not really a good pass catcher. He is like an elevated version of Derrick Henry as a pass catcher, if that makes sense. He's not really running routes, but he's not terrible. He's not like a stone hands guy. So, yeah, he's all right. It's just his value is based on volume and touchdowns. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you on here, bro. Darnold against Bucks or T-Law against Chiefs? I mean, it's Darnold. Like T-Law, that's a tough matchup against the Chiefs. T-Law looks terrible. And he's not running at all, which is just they did design one like RPO where he ran for 8 yards. Trevor Lawrence is averaging 6 yards rushing a game. That's like Matt Stafford fucking level. Disappointing, dude. Disappointing. 3-1, baby. You're 1 win away from really being in the driver's seat, Leafy. So 1 win away from being in the driver's seat, baby. That's what we want. All right, I got a little bit more time on here. If you guys have any other questions, I do appreciate all that gave me super chats and donated. That is big, man. I want to do this shit full time. I've been doing it full time. I have about 6 weeks before I have to make a pretty big decision on a job offer that I prefer. It's a good job, a good sales job. I wouldn't mind the job, but like I'd much prefer to do this. I got a sponsorship thing going on tomorrow for the channel for I can't say the betting site, but I will say it tomorrow. It's like an underdog, but not underdog. That gonna have awesome promo code. I'm gonna have my Patreon set up. A lot of good bonuses for you guys, benefits if you want to support me and the channel. Keep this fucker going like this 7 days a week, 365 days a year. A lot of good stuff we do in the non-football times. So football is 8 months a year. We'll do a lot of NFL draft stuff. We started about June for like pre-fantasy draft stuff. This goes to the end of the Super Bowl. We do a lot of NBA stuff with the promo code I have. I'm really, really, really big in the NBA. And then a lot of other fun stuff, man. Random shows. I have a lot of good guests, not just stories. Stories like my number one co-host. Got about 5 or 6 dudes. A lot of stuff with me and Story are both cinephiles. We love movies. We have a lot of good pop culture shit. Joe Rogan-esque random forums. Gonna let you guys in the Patreon control what we talk about, as long as we know enough about it. I don't want to talk about mathematics, unfortunately. Team money, dude. Jacksonville looks great. Like their defense is like they've had 2 or 3. I think it was. They already have like 4 more turnovers this year forced, and they had all of last year. So they are an opportunistic defense with some pretty athletic players. Levy says, so McLaurin and Tyreek are injured. Do I keep them or get rid of them? Well, you got Tyreek is gone. Like he's out for the year, essentially. We're pretty sure. Get rid of Tyreek. McLaurin's back next week, possibly. Not quite top 10, Brian, and PPR higher than half. I would say, like, conservatively, top 14. Just because the offense looks good now, like with Worthy back, like he's not going to get as much volume as he was getting the first 3 games of 2024 and the end of 2023, but he's still going to be the one there. So I'd say top 14. Mark, actually, this is the first year I'm not playing fantasy basketball since 2010. I'm going to just be doing betting and then some like player prop stuff. So the player prop stuff is similar to betting. So stuff like that. And I have a guest that's going to be coming on. 2 guests, actually. My one buddy has won multiple DraftKings 100,000+ like entries. So not more than 100,000, like 100,000+ entries. Like people that like join a league. So like those giant tournaments. He's won 2 of them. This dude's a fucking like NBA wizard. I'm a huge NBA fan too. I'm really good at fantasy basketball, not so much betting. I'm okay. But like pair my knowledge with his knowledge and kind of just tail his picks. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, dude, the injuries, it's been hard this year, like with the quarterbacks going down, not even just the season enders, but, Jaden Daniels, now Lamar, Joe Burrow, obviously, and then just a lot of injuries, man. Last year was pretty clean, especially the running back position. New era this year, man. Do I go Montgomery or Swift this week? Montgomery has a pretty good matchup, man. I'm going Montgomery against the Bengals. Michael, I think I'd rather have A.J. Brown. That's tough. I think if it's one more week of this from A.J. Brown and Marv shows out, it's Marv. But give me A.J. Brown. Brian, with the Tyreek injury, I could consider it. but I don't know. He wasn't playing a lot of snaps. And like the thing is, Waller's never like he had those 100+ catch years he had. He never even had over like 5 touchdowns, and he plays fucking half the snaps tonight in one game and scores 2. I wouldn't chase that. I mean, if you need someone, he especially with Tyreek out, I think he could do better. I think there's better guys out there. If you're in here, you have not subbed, please do, man. 7 days a week, we're getting this shit rolling. It's not just fantasy. We got gambling, start sit decisions like we're doing now. Just football talk, baby. And not just football talk. We just had a really in-depth conversation about me changing my my picture to a dirty butthole so the league mates could see. Stuff like that. Punishment for league mates. Awesome stuff. So I appreciate all you guys. I don't have much time left, though. I can't go 3 hours again. I went 3 hours last night when I was not feeling it, and I was rough this morning. It's already 1 o'clock here, so I'll answer a few more before I take off. But yeah, I'd appreciate if you guys subbed, and then you can you get the notifications when I go live because it's pretty much 7 days a week. It's never a set time, so I'm gonna get the Patreon and the Discord a little more organized, and then when you're on the Discord and the Patreon and all that, you will be able to see exactly when we're going live. Yeah, Montgomery's a safer start. In full PPR, I could see the appeal of Swift. If it's half PPR, it's Montgomery. It's not even close. Yeah, you're fine with Hunter Henry, man. There's no point in like trying to chase something else because you have Tucker Kraft every week, and then Henry's fine. Not a bad matchup this week either. Yeah, likely is probably a drop if you don't have anyone else. I don't know. It sucks. You could just start T-Law, I guess. You know, you could just start him, or just drop T-Law, dude. Just drop T-Law. And then you can keep Likely because in the case that Mark Andrews gets hurt, Likely is a top 12 tight end. So I think I'd rather not roster 3 quarterbacks, Brian. I would, bro, especially with Mooney being hurt. Kyle Pitts looks good, man. I would, with Mooney being hurt, especially if he misses some more games. Kyle Pitts, yeah, off waiver. He shouldn't even be on waivers. Yeah, bro. The Eagles have been surviving on a lot of big plays, block fucking field goals and shit. Their defense looks shaky. You could run all over the Eagles right now, and the Cardinals have a solid defense. They're going to be hungry after the 2 tough losses they had, and I love the matchup against the Titans. Like, what's the Titans' upside? 17 points, maybe. And we know one thing: Cam Ward is aggressive. He has turnovers, so I'm not feeling too bad about it. AK. Wilson's fine. Wilson was fine with Tyrod. He'll be fine with Fields. He's getting all the targets. I don't even know if another receiver on that team had a fucking catch this game. Josh Reynolds certainly didn't. So it's literally Mason Taylor and Garrett Wilson. So yeah. So I guess I can see why you wouldn't want to give up Trevor Lawrence. But you have Caleb, bro. So in a 14-teamer, I kind of like the Likely stack. What you could try to do is make a trade. Make just a meaningless 2-for-1 trade if you can. Trade some of your depth for a little bit better of an upgrade on like bench. And then you get a roster spot. So try to do that. Yeah, I probably like the Lions, man. Chargers defense without Khalil Mack is just not looking great. And the Lions defense is a fucking opportunistic, and they have great game scripts, if that makes sense for team defense, because what do you want your team defense to have? The lead, which teams will throw on them and they'll make mistakes. That's why you want the Lions defense. I wouldn't dump them, man. I mean, if it's a 10-team league, Rob, I would probably dump him, but he's still better than most of the guys in the wire. I'd probably still want Myers over Io Manor, and I love Io Manor. So that's my line right there. Wilson was a round 9 keeper for the last 4 years. I panicked with a Marion. Yeah, Marion looked great. So we were all panicking, but the thing is, Najee Harris got hurt. So now our Marion is that dude that we thought he was going to be. He wasn't going to be that dude with Najee Harris like playing. I can promise you that. We're all worried about Henry, but you can't do anything about it, Michael. You got to hold tight, man. He'll be fine. In the short term, if Lamar misses, it's not bad. His touchdown equity goes down, but his carries are going to go way up. So, yeah, Judkins looks like the dude, man. He looks like the dude. It was just what a wild roller coaster for Judkins in terms of draft season, right? 7th rounder, an early underdog, and the suspension hits, and then he was a fucking 13th rounder, and then so much uncertainty, and then like they sign him, no suspension most likely. So it's, yeah. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate you, man. Hopefully you sub so you can check out these out some more. We had a lot of good guests, a lot of good talk. Great community. The key is the community. This chat, well, we all help each other out. That's the goal, right? We all want to make money, and a lot of us don't play against each other, so we can all make money, especially gambling, baby. 17-10 this year. It's been a rough stretch for me after my awesome, I was 7-1 to start, so I've kind of, righted the ship a bit. That's a good call, man. CMC, this is the time to trade CMC. Maybe give it one more week. You're risking it, right? Because they're going to give him 1 million touches on Thursday, a short week, but he's going to pop off every week. He only has 1 touchdown this year, too. What's the format, Michael? Is it if it's full PPR, I do A-Chain for Henry right now. If it's standard, I still want Henry. Henderson's going to slowly get better. Yeah, full PPR, do it. You can do it, man. Because it was close draft season-wise. I still preferred Henry just because how safe it is. But that Ravens seems a mess right now. And with Tyreek Hill being out, A-Chain, what does he have? He's averaging 5 catches a game. That's not going to go down. Now, he's more likely to get hurt, unfortunately. So I'm not too worried about Henderson. I'm more worried about Harvey. I think Henderson takes the lead back role, whatever that means, over Harvey, before Harvey does. Which he better, though, because he was also drafted a round and a half or 2 rounds earlier in fantasy. That's a smash, man. I'm going to give you a round of applause there, baby. DJ Moore for Scat. Scat's a fucking monster. He's not losing that job at all. They love him there in New York. He looks great. Fun idea. 12-man PPR, 12 years going. Everyone selects a rival. We have a mini punishment week. I like that one. Well, Keenan Allen seems like a very safe bet in fantasy. That's a guy I'd be trading right now, though. If someone's going to give you what he's producing and you can get trying to think of a player. I would still, I know it sounds crazy. I'd still rather have Ladd McConkey than Keenan Allen rest of season. I think he will. I don't think Ladd will outscore him for the whole year based on what happened the first 4 weeks. But I think that rest of the year from right now, I think Ladd outscores him. Michael, that's what I like to hear, man. I have faith in Henry too. It's going to be a bumpy ride. It's weird that's been a bumpy ride because that's not Derrick Henry's MO. But he's hungry. He still looks good. You know what I'm saying? The first game against the Bills, especially, the touchdown run he had in week 3, he looked good. So, and more athleticism, but the arm strength's there. He's just smaller too. Man, Michael, probably Quentin Johnson, just because I don't know. It's hard for me to bank on Keenan playing a whole season. He's old, bro. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe he gave him a little party favor or something to pull that trade off. But you know what? Don't question. If other people want to give away their players, don't question it. I mean, I wouldn't trade Rice now if you held on to him all year. If you're 1-3, you might want to trade him. But if you have a 2-2 or 3-1 or 4-0 record, you keep Rashee Rice. You expect high-end wide receiver 2 numbers. Yeah, Keenan's a trusted guy. That was supposed to be Ladd's role, I guess is my point. So I don't know, man. Keenan looks good too. I'm a Bears fan. I watched every snap of Keenan Allen last year, and he looks. Pickens a wide receiver. Yeah, Pickens is a wide receiver 1, and I have Pickens. He was one of my PPs. I think he's a back end wide receiver 2 the rest of the year, even when Lamb comes back. You're 3-1. Hold tight, bro. Hold tight on Rashee Rice. You're 3-1. There's no point in trading him. The teams that need to be trading Rashee Rice are teams that are 0-4, especially 1-3 maybe, and 2-2. Okay, if you can get if you have Rice and you have a losing record, trade him to a winning record. Right? That's how you get the most value. Thanks for the super chat, Sam. Appreciate you. Final trade is Pearsall, Hubbard, and my 2026 second rounder, 2026 second and 2027 second for Odunze plus Mooney. All right. Man, I'm in for it, bro. I feel like you're getting value for Odunze right now. And Odunze is the hot topic and the hot commodity right now in redraft. But you're Hubbard, what is Hubbard going to be? They still have Jonathan Brooks. That's what people don't realize. They signed Rico Dowdle. They still have Jonathan Brooks coming back. I know it's off 2 ACL injuries. They took him in the early second round 2 years ago in the draft. It was last year in the draft, actually. So Hubbard is an expiring asset. So it's pretty much Pearsall and your draft picks for Odunze and Mooney. And Mooney's only 29 years old. So I like it, bro. I like it. Thank you again. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, you're not going to need a quarterback or tight end elite one there when you have that roster. You're going to win. Like, that's Benson, Amarian, Scat, and A-Chain. Let's go. So maybe try to trade one of your backs, bro. Try to trade high on A-Chain or something. Because you have Benson the rest of the year. It seems like you have Scat the rest of the year. Or you could try to trade Scat. I would trade Scat over Benson just because Benson's stock after that game on Thursday isn't great. He'll be better, especially after this next week. And Scat he plays so reckless, he might get hurt. Now, he's a badass, but yeah, bro, I would do that in a heartbeat. You're getting fucking a 23-year-old stud, and like there is a chance this year DJ Moore is traded, but I promise you DJ Moore is not on this team next year. And Luther Burden's fine. Luther Burden's not an alpha receiver, though. What's going on, Danny? Unfortunately, I only have a couple minutes left, but I'll stick around for a couple questions. Wally sent a 5-man package, CD, Walker, or Mason, plus Zay, Kraft, and Broncos D for Bijan. CD, Walker. Yeah, if you can afford it, man, Bijan is the safest thing in the world. Does he have Algier by any chance? If he does, try to get Algier. That way you're locking up that backfield. If he doesn't have Algier, before you make the trade, reach out to the Algier owner and try to make a deal, because that's the key. Now you won't lose the trade, because I still believe if Bijan got hurt tomorrow, that Algier would be a top 14 running back. And yes, Bijan's number 1, but you're not losing that much. Now, if you don't get Algier and Bijan gets hurt, you lose the trade. If you get Algier and Bijan gets hurt, you don't lose the trade that much. I'm not worried about Michael Carter. Michael Carter is literally the definition of a guy. And DeMarcado looked pretty good. He's bigger than I thought he was. I don't remember him being that big. I'm still not worried. It's Trey Benson, baby. They spent a second-round pick out of FSU 2 years ago on that guy. I'm not worried about Trey Benson. If anything, this is the time to buy Trey Benson if you have a panicked owner. Yeah, Marion and Scat, like those guys are just not league winners, but they're like every week starters right now. Bro, I remember the Eno Benjamin. I called him Emo Benjamin, but I do remember that. He was like a deep sleeper and a dynasty darling. Yeah, Brian, Kincaid snap share. I will say this. It's gone up. So week 1 was like 54%, and Dawson Knox was like 48%. He's slowly creeped up to the low 60s, but his red zone usage right now, we thought that was going to be Keon Coleman's role, but they're scheming up a lot of good plays for Dalton Kincaid. He looks good, and he put on that bulk in the offseason, so they're trusting him blocking a little bit more. So I don't know, lead offense. I'm not like Juwan. If Juwan Johnson, for instance, it's all about volume. So you can't play Juwan Johnson or a player of that ilk. That's not a great player on a bad situation that plays 70, 60% of the snaps. You're tied to Josh Allen. How many scoring opportunities are the Bills going to have? So his 60% equals 100% on a bad team. So that's why I love Kincaid. Like, he is an every week starter. He's not a smash. He's going to have some bad games. He had 1 for 28 and a touchdown last week. If he doesn't catch that pass, he has a 0. But the prior week against the Dolphins, Thursday Night Football, he had a touchdown. He could have had 3. He had one that was like barely knocked out of his hands, and another one where I think he stepped out of bounds. So I'm in on Kincaid, man. Appreciate you, Danny. Yeah, pretty much every night, late night, I'm on here. Almost every single night. Yeah, I would probably trade Scat over Benson. Like I said, like just feel him out and see. Just find a player you like at quarterback or tight end, and then ask him. Offer the guy you don't want. Offer the guy you like less. And then see if he will take that. If not, then offer the other guy. Or you can ask him, who do you like more? Because I think they're pretty close. Oh, hell yeah, AK. I'm going to get you in the future. I'll get you in the Discord once I get all this stuff figured out, and we can do something, partner up. I don't know much about UFC, but it's a nice niche market. I think it's pretty profitable to bet on because those money lines are tasty, dude. I could see that, Brian. I think the Chiefs might destroy Jacksonville. I don't know, man. Herbert, I don't know if you want to trade Herbert, bro. Trade for Herbert because the offensive line, they're missing both their tackles right now. So it's not going to be the same offense we've seen. They're going to run the ball more, which we always thought they were. So I would shoot higher, bro. Shoot higher. Try to get Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is the guy to target right now because they rested him 2 weeks. He should be fully healthy when he comes back. They're 2-2. Dude's a stud. Appreciate you, Brian. All right, you guys have anything else before I get out of here? I can't go over 2 hours and 30 minutes. I can't. I want to, but that's too much for Daniels, bro. That's too much for Daniels. I wouldn't give up Rice at all. On the next stream, I will share the Discord once I get all that figured out. Currently, right now, it's a smaller group of guys. I'm getting a Patreon set up for the all the elite guys. Even the second tier, it's $5 a month. We'll get the access to the Discord chat, early access to my bets, a bunch of good stuff. Yeah, I know. I just don't think you want to trade Rice, man. I think with your team, you can maneuver with having Kyler, bro. Like, unless you're getting Josh Allen, if you can get Josh Allen, then do it. Do it. If you can get Lamar, if the injury is not bad, do it. But I would not do it for Herbert for sure. I might not even do it for Daniels. Daniels is close. I see the appeal, but like Rashee Rice, like, I don't know, man. And who knows? Maybe who's your tight end right now, AK? And who's available? You could find somebody. Now, if you're going to trade Rice and you're going to do that, try to get a tight end and a quarterback in the same trade, or do a 3-way trade or something. Yeah, Schultz is okay though. It's not great. Would you pick up Fields over Goff? I would keep both of them and play matchups, man. If you can afford to have two quarterbacks in your team, I would probably rather have Goff over Fields rest of the season because you don't know how many games Fields is going to play. Injury risk with how he runs, and also like I hope they don't bench him, but they could fucking bench him. Jared Goff is not going to get benched. And if it's for a 4 for a passing touchdown, it's closer. If it's 6 for a passing touchdown, I want Goff over Fields in general. A Dunze Breece Hall for Herbert. I wouldn't do that. Like we were just talking, man. Justin Herbert didn't score a lot last week. He's losing both of his tackles right now. So, like, I know he's got good weapons, but, like, they have a good defense. Herbert will just be a borderline quarterback 1. I feel like maybe top 10. Maybe top 10. CD and K9 for Taylor and Rice. Yeah, I want JT and Rashee Rice all day for that, dude. That's an easy smash. Easy peasy Japanesey. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to play a clip and then I will say goodbye. And I will be on tomorrow. Probably, I got a couple comments here I'll answer. Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow for the waiver show, probably earlier. It'll probably be 9 p.m. Central Time. I'll probably do a long one there.
You asked to see me. I made your Cajun chicken niblets.
No. You made my year. You have a gift. And a super dope hat. This is cool. All right, boys. Let's go!
All right, appreciate all you guys, all the super chats. I'm going to make sure I didn't miss any. I don't think I did, because I would hate to do that. I did not. Okay, I appreciate all the super chats. That was awesome. You guys are awesome. Great community. Stay positive. Love your life. Respect each other. And remember, life is a gift. That's why it's called the present. I'm out of here. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. stream, Central Time, 9 p.m. Waiver Wire show, start sit questions, general football talk, random talk, whatever the hell you guys want to talk about. I'm going to have a couple guests on tomorrow. You'll also see me. Appreciate you guys.